a wonderful morning. We don't have much today, so there's not really any data, but we are still holding this little melt up, the path of least resistance. Now that pretty much you have your rate cuts getting closer to being confirmed in September. So we talked about that a lot on the watch list. I do think this is something that you got to be aware of. You know, the overall reaction that we're getting here in the market, it's related to what you are really planning and pricing over the next couple of days or really next month with Jerome Powell and the Fed. So we got a couple more sets of data Thursday, Friday. Today's going to be a chill one. We'll see if we end up getting that momentum. And then, like the title of the video, oh, hello. Watch out for the small caps. Again, IWM yesterday, that went up 3%. There's a lot of people shorting it. There's a lot of people waiting for the breakout. And again, let's see if we could even get a broader rally. I'd also keep an eye out for the staples, but other than that, it should be a pretty chill time. So we got about 4 minutes until the bell, my friends. But what else do we got? I'm going to be looking at IWM, UNH, WBTN, CGTX. I think CGTX had an Alzheimer's drug, XLP, and Pepsi, but there wasn't any crazy ones in the morning. You still had the Peter Thiel one again. That was the one we saw in the AM yesterday, and that one ran. So other than that, you might get some random poppers, but I don't think we're expecting anything too crazy. So I got a little bit of time. I need to go to the potty. I didn't go to the potty yet, you guys. So let me go to the potty. I will be right back. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Get a membership. Some of you got memberships overnight, and I wasn't here to tell you I love you and thank you. So I love you and thank you. God bless you. Let's have a good day, baby. Oh, no propaganda. Do you guys just want to watch me play basketball? I made the other people watch me play basketball. I'm turning into an old boomer, man, where I make you watch my videos. Here, watch. Okay, you can watch. I'll let you watch. That's fine. I need to go pee. You guys can watch me ball. And oh, right here. Come on. Board that. Hit that. And the board. Don't worry about it. All the way. Good take. Oh, good take, bro. Hey, yo. That's how we open it up. Oh, zero. What up, baby? Let's melt. It is, as you're in melt mode again. So here's the thing, bro. I really hope you guys could understand it too, because I know a lot of people, like even yesterday with a slightly hotter data, you may have not gotten the typical reaction, but I really hope you guys get it. Like, you know, everyone's pricing in rate cuts. So when you start thinking, why are we melting up? Why do we keep you're getting a rate cut in 45 days? Assuming the data just keeps doing this, you're not going to get, like, that's it. You're finally getting what you wanted, and people are reacting to that. Even think crypto, the dollar, all of that. So let's get it ready, baby. 4 seconds. Post any questions. Read the rules. Don't get banned. 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. All right. We're off. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, the K-Webs. China did pop up again. You had 10-cent earnings. That was the other part of it. So very interesting, actually. Yeah, so the China plays are waking up a little bit. They're either going to fade in the next hour or it's actually going to hold up. So that'll be fun. Oh, you have old metas kind of climbing. They're still a little dead. That one's interesting. And then uranium stocks as well. We'll see what oil does. Coherus, BE. What was that other one? CGTX had an Alzheimer's drug. Again, it's a small cap. But then again, I don't know. And then Russell is leading again. So we are waking up here with small caps up about 0.6. Again, that could change. If you guys remember yesterday, small caps were in the lead, but then NASDAQ was good in the SPY, and then that flipped by the end. And then, again, ultimately, Russell held up. But yeah, you're already doubling up there on the Russell. We'll see if that keeps going or not. Ding, ding. AMD, too. They were going up there in the morning. I want to see Intel. Yeah, CGTX. That's the Alzheimer's one. It's $1 stock if you want it, but that one is either going to do very well or it's going to fade and be down 50%. You know the vibe. You do know the vibe with some of these. Value. Give me the value. I still like, yeah, value's down by 0.4 actually. So you're actually getting the reverse of the rotation here. That's going to either get killed today or that'll be a lot of room to come back up. So yeah, watch, you already got a pretty big gap. Healthcare is doing the reverse. So you got staples down, healthcare up. Keep that in mind for any rotation. And financials too. They were on fire yesterday. Jumia. And then SPY, bro, that's it. Another high. So again, Russell is staying at 0.6. NASDAQ is starting to close the gap there in a minute or two. So yeah, you're going to get that here. A lot of movement to start. Nothing clear cut yet. Give me a sec. Oh shit, those all doubled. The data tomorrow, little bit. I mean, it just all, obviously CPI is bigger, but every set of data moving forward, you know, we're either going to be confirming the rate cut or not at this point. So if all of it goes in line and it spells out really similar to what we just had, then yeah, they're just going to further confirm the rate cuts. Yeah, oh, some of these, I don't know, some of these premiums are really high. I'm looking at the Russell. So again, there's a lot riding on the Russell there, but unfortunately, yeah, the premiums are juiced. Like, you got a fat gap up here in the morning, and some of them already went up. Like, we're talking 20-cent contracts are at $1 now. So that's kind of the shitty part. I'm gonna wait again. Yeah, but that's killing it. So I like it, but you gotta wait a little or wait till we get one of the first pullbacks. And then again, UNH isn't doing as good, but it's up 1%. But like, look at the fucking healthcare. Healthcare is actually doing very good today. I'm surprised off the morning. And then Kava's moving. They had bad earnings. They're already coming up. They were down. It's already moved 10%. I think it was down 25% there to start. Yeah, Apple started getting one pre-market. Again, UUU materials, rare earths. They also got a little bit here today. But actually, that's starting to fade. I don't know what it was. Wasn't Tesla moving pre-market? That's going green now. And then let's check the big tech. Nvidia's up. Meta's up. Meta's crazy too. Again, if that goes 800, I really like that move. Who else is there? Google and Microsoft. I swear UPS was on the high. Nope. Mike, is it going to hit a new price? Oh, no. 84. But yeah, that thing's moving around a little bit. Oh, Phoenix. Welcome. Yeah, Pepsi's still doing good, but then Coca-Cola, that's been dragging a little bit, but they're finally green. Again, I don't like the staples today. Staples, something's dragging down staples. I don't, oh, could be Walmart and Target. That's what it is. Yeah, XLP. That might, honestly, there is still a little bit of rotation. I don't know if you heard me a couple minutes ago, but I'm saying it doesn't look like we have it, but yeah, I think you're just got, the staples are getting taken over by Target and Walmart from yesterday. Yeah, Bebzi is doing good, Habibi. Yes, and the AMD. Lisa, tell Lisa, very good job. Very, very good job. All right. Not bad. Oh no. Yeah, Walmart earnings is going to be big, but for the most part, I didn't really think Walmart makes up a big part of XLP. And then again, PG and J&J, we saw those yesterday. Those can both move, and yeah, they're right at the cusp. Toyota moving. Toyota getting a pop here. It's not loading up on my screen. There it is. Kind of a liquid, 0.08. There was a headline on car tariffs yesterday, but I don't know. It said 15% for Japan. Norway to enact EEA rules to net stable funding ratio. Kava's going. Again, Toyota's catching a bid right now. BYRN, nail on the high, home builders, and then 3M, and then there's Ethereum. Gabe, welcome, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man. I don't know if there's Boeing news. If there was, oh wait, wasn't it? There was the news on Switzerland and buying LMT. I don't know if Boeing got a lift from that, but I don't see anything directly on Boeing. Happy to join, baby. Let's go. Happy to save. Happy to get a long term too. That's what we bout. Macy's on the high. All right, high, just like yesterday, man. You're getting a lot of activity, like various industries and all of that, but the market's still kind of like inching away. You're gonna have the Mag 7 effect, but yeah, you got a lot of stuff moving. Elf, that thing's moved up $10 in the last day. Yeah, UNH climbing again. I still think staples and healthcare are gonna be interesting. IWM hasn't really moved, but SPY and NASDAQ are closing that gap a little bit more. There could be a little pullback eventually, but you just need the right reason. So I've said it a lot this year, like the market could go up for no reason. I've been saying that, and I think you guys have to get used to that. And especially too, like even in this environment, it could go up forever. I was even saying it last week, even though I think it was fake and it's all waiting for the data, it could hit a new high if it really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It just, at this point, it's really being driven by like information, like policy and positioning. So once people have a general idea of policy and they don't think it's going to change, they are positioning to the high heavens back and forth until the next event. That's why I keep saying wait till the fireworks, and then also too watch the watch list, pay attention, because what you're seeing is because of rate cuts. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of people talk about rate cuts, even demand for it, but I'm like, do you guys realize what's happening? Like, think of, you're about to get rate cuts then. You're about to get what you wanted. This is stimulative. You know what I'm saying? For a little bit. It may end up failing. It may not be as good as people think, but at the core level, it's a stimulative action. So think about how the market's moving and people are positioning when you could reasonably forecast, like, assuming the data doesn't get weird and acts how it has, that just means you're getting a rate cut in like 35 days. Trump 1.0 in August, Trump 1.0 was positive. So, and we talked about seasonality yesterday. I gave a good update on seasonality, but I'm gonna make you go to the watch list for that. Okay, UNH again, LMT, that's the only one I had the headline on. UNH keeps printing on the high. Norway. Okay, Apple's coming down. Again, the big seven is all within like 1/4 or 0.5%. I'm pretty sure. Meta already flipped red. At such highs, yeah. Well, you go for value. That's what I'm saying. I think you're not going to be buying the Mag 7 right now if you didn't already buy it, but I still think there's a lot of value out there. So it's not, I don't know. I like this market. I don't think it's that bad. And it sucks to watch the market melt up sometimes, but our long term has literally hit a brand new high alongside of it. We're still in the lead there. That's why I'm like, just focus on value. I think you'll be fine. The real problem right now is FOMO. You guys don't feel the emotions. You don't think emotions are the problem. You don't think people were down 30% in the beginning of the year, and then month after month it climbs, and then you have the doubt, the fear, all of it. And then now it's up, and now that people feel safe, they want to buy at the high, and then it's you don't think so? So that's why I'm like, man, it just all depends what game you want to play. And if you are really like driven by the emotions and you don't have a plan, this shit could get hard. This shit could get really emotional and confusing. But other than that, like, you take what you could get, and what you could get right now is value. And one of these days, all of these high flyers are going to be able to get them cheap for a little bit, and then it'll go again. But yeah, you have these opportunities. Yeah, dude, I like Arquite a lot. I can't believe we got those shares through Redfin. So that was amazing. But yeah, big fan. Throwing up all night? Is it because of your brisket? Core Weave. Oh no, that's Data Dog. I was like, damn. Core Weave is down. I don't know if those plays hit. I just got the cheapy one. I don't think it did. Yeah, they did. I don't know how. It should have the same price. Oh yeah, somebody bought them for 100% this morning. It just came down. Oh, I should have sold it. You've been accumulating? Well, bro, that's crazy. I saw your membership last night. You bought a membership last night to post your play this morning. But I don't know if you've been following along, but that's a bannable offense now. So, unfortunately, we don't want people to post their plays. Too much gambling, and it's been abused. So, unfortunately, yeah, we don't do that. Coins up 17? Huh? Oh, $17. I was like, what do you mean 17%? What? No, I'm not playing basketball today. I'm tired, bro. I got leg day. I don't know if I'm gonna even do legs. I might have to go to the farm. So if I don't end up working out, I'm gonna have to drive a lot. Nikes. Yeah, bro. Nikes. ONON went down off the downgrade, but some of those came up pretty good. Yeah, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're doing it again. I still love that one. That one just, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Yeah, bro, I got Dimer, bro. I tell you, see it. All no looks, bro. Y'all don't, bro, those are glasses. I was wearing glasses. You don't even see me look down. You don't even know if I have the ball. Stop it. Yeah, AMD right from the more Visa and MasterCard climbing up again. I don't know if that was Walmart, but if Walmart could pick up, that's going to help lift the staples up real good. Yeah, XLP is trying to go up right now. And then Coca-Cola down. UNH about to break out. AMD 52-week high. MNTS. I don't think there was a headline. Just a small cap. I don't remember it unless you did off the morning. Nikes, then Tesla, then SPY. I think ARC on the high as well too. A couple of other things, but short-term velocity on the high ticker is picking up. You got software on the low, Net, TTD. You got a couple of other ones coming down right now. J&J. All right, we could get more staples. Yeah, Procter & Gamble, J&J. Again, I think Walmart lifting up. That's already given up half of the loss, so that's going to help out. What's the other one? Target. Fannie and Freddie, yeah. Wait, they haven't announced the plan. That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to do something crazy with it. But I just don't know how they're going to split it up, what happens to the equity, and then the valuation. So I'm curious, but there's a reason I kept it small. It's moved up a lot, and you have no idea how it's going to play. Silver's on the high now. Damn, silver's at 1.5. And gold, too. I don't know. I thought oil was down, yeah. Oil's still a little bit low. SPY hit a high. MO's climbing up here. MO with a decent pop, actually. Is this thing not stopped? Fig on the low. Yeah, MO was waking up. It's kind of moving 3 candles there, and there's nothing. Senior Trump admin official Fed list includes Bowman, Bullard, Hassett, Jefferson, Logan, Summerlin, Waller, and Walsh. Reuters. DE on the high. Kind of running deer. I swear, was it XLB on the high this morning? Yeah, materials. Materials are breaking out right now. XLB. You had, what's it called, too? Home builders. Okay, CNC, Centene, actually kind of really running. Katos on the low. Oh, what was the other one? There's one with Trump yesterday. Baby Trump. Yeah, UNH healthcare, they're all kind of working up. So I'm saying healthcare had to jump off the morning while the staples kind of lagged because of Walmart. And then McDonald's coming up now. Got a couple of candles. We got like consumer food, consumer staple, even consumer discretionary. A lot of consumer plays are going up, and the Russell, but now the Dow is matched up with the Russell. NASDAQ SPY still doing about 0.5%. So you still are getting a little bit broadening out. Take a look at the high ticker. That one's still going. New high on the SPY and all that. Oh, Momentous has a NASA contract. There you go. Kava missed earnings by like 4% on some of the metrics. It was pretty bad. Nibis coming down. Then PayPal on the high. Like I'm saying, there's a lot of names moving right now. Eli Lilly. Again, MO started moving. That's another set of healthcare. Look at XLV. So XLV is doing better than the Russell. It's actually the best on the day. You got Centene popping, UNH, again, Humana, and some of the other ones are running, but not all of them are created equally. I mean, short rates will go down if they cut, but then if the economy is booming and they cut rates, the long end will probably have higher yields. Labu and biotechs. Let's see, man, high ticker. Very active. And then data kel on the low. And then a U and the H. Oh, wow. Let's see. I have an idea. But it's not gonna hit, I don't think. Boom. If they cut into a boom, are we clapped? Well, yes and no. Think about it. Like, the economy will theoretically be doing better, right? So you're not going to be clapped in that sense, but then the rates are probably going to skyrocket on the long end, and then you'll have, we'll go back to trying to acquire those restrictive, a restrictive stance. If you remember all of that, that was a fun time. it wasn't it. Only full one. There you go. Do you see the bonds? What is that? All right. Cutting while booming would mean inflation, amongst other things. It doesn't have to be, but it would just mean, it would be unnecessary. So let me put it, here's a great example. It's a very, very good example. And it didn't just happen for no reason. Do you guys remember what happened right before the election? It was probably arguably one of the most important elections between Donald Trump and then Joe Biden. And then at the last minute, they avoided the primaries and then threw Kamala Harris in. Do you guys remember that? And then as Kamala Harris probably ended up spending more than any traditional candidate in 1 month than they would have in 4 years, people were getting really, really crazy. And then the Federal Reserve got the bright idea to cut rates right before the election. Do you remember that? And then they cut rates. It was actually almost a year ago to the date. They cut rates. And then, even though they cut rates by 50 basis points, it was the first time in history that the long end of the yield curve went up. So even though they cut rates, 100 days later, the rates were 100 basis points higher. So that right there shows you. That's a good example of unnecessary. So you saw the bond market, you got an unnecessary rate cut. The bond market did what it shouldn't have. The yields went up even though you lowered them. So that's what we're saying here, where it's like, it doesn't have to be inflation. That's obviously the main concern, and that factors into this situation. But if they cut rates and it's unnecessary, you're liable to just kind of just do a weird reaction or whatever. So yeah. Google on the low. All right, you got bonds up. I saw a couple of big tech on the low right there. So I only made one play here. Need to film me. And then what's no XLV? Okay. Something on Norway. All right, you got a decent red there. Yeah, again, you had bonds leading the way and commodities on that too. So watch out. I mean, everything you would have watched to give you an idea is literally already moved. Yeah, and then oil's getting pummeled. IBKR, and whoa, what's up with banks? Yo, banks are getting flushed right now. Not all of them. XLF is still up, but a couple of banks are getting murdered right now. Yeah, JP Morgan, Citi, and a few others are just getting knifed. I don't know why. It's not too big yet, but something's happening. So look, low ticker picking up. Again, I'm telling you, a lot of financials. Meanwhile, you got healthcare and some of these other ones going a little crazier, but That is what I am looking out for. Norway will not have talks with US at any price. I saw that, but I don't think Norway matters as much. Sorry, Norwals. My bad, guys. DKS. That's on the low. NXPI on the high. It's interesting. I don't know. I feel like all the other chips, I haven't seen anything crazy except AMD. Okay, UNH is still rising. All these healthcare's on fire right now. Healthcare's up 1%. It's outperforming the Russell by a quarter now. And then I don't know if Procter & Gamble's kind of catching it. And then you got the bonds still. Like I said, bonds, dollar, and a lot of other things kind of front ran that move there. And you have oil on the low. Bum. Can we pull this one off? Oops, I gotta get lucky. McDonald's still going. We saw that one earlier. So again, these discretionary plays are actually doing very well. Wyndham, WH, travel, big pop, or a dollar pop. It's about less than 1%. Not loading up yet on the screen. All right, Constellation and energy. So see if oil keeps dumping. Oh, weed stocks. I forgot about that. Yo, weed with a pop. It's already up 5. Again, don't we have a couple left? I think I took most of them. Yeah, we only have they're up 30 still. I have one more set left for free, but yeah, bonds were front running the last like 10 minutes here. And then again, you got about 10, 15 cent pop on MSOS right now. And then healthcare is pretty much the clear winner. It is 10 o'clock on the dot. So let me get you guys this. I'll get you guys a checkup. Let's see. What do you guys oh, what? Damn. All right, well, let me, I just saw the SPY. Let me give you the Dow. Damn, Dow is 26 names green, 4 in the red. Walmart, Nvidia, Goldman, and Coke. Those are the only ones red on the Dow. And then NASDAQ, 71 green, 29 in the red. Yeah, bro, this is crazy. And then SPY as well, 391 green, 109 red. So yeah, you're like 70, 80% green right now, bro. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it in a weird way, but yeah, everything is fucking green. Hood, MP running. Yeah, Hood's down 2.5. Not bad, but it's kind of weird considering coin. And a lot of things that last 5 minutes there, they kind of took a move. I mean, anybody except healthcare, really. All right, well, you are coming back down, but like I'm saying, it is probably big tech. I mean, you're up only by like a quarter. Russell and Dow is pretty big, but at the end of the day, this is like, yeah, you have 80, 90% of the market green and you're not moving as much. So you probably do need, probably are going to need that. Big tech. City's still in the banks. That was a weird one. I don't know what that was, but the banks were just dropping earlier. So, I don't know, man. Take that as you please. It's not bad, bro. Zoom and Disney on the high. Okay, and you're right at VWAP. See if bonds, dollar, any of that changes in the mix, or if you could get a real crazy move on any commodities. Again, materials are through the high right now, or they've been there all day. So just keep note of that, but we'll see. It shouldn't be too crazy. Do I say anything about Webull? No, man, I don't. I think Webull is for the people who are looking for a hero. You know, but that's on you guys. You guys will figure it out. I'm not getting involved. I don't want to tell you that your girlfriend is cheating on you. That never works out well. So I'm just going to mind my own business and encourage people to save money and buy quality. Good quality. The highest quality that you could possibly get your hands on. Anything less is a robbery of self. Boeing's starting to go, baby. Shout out to Peach. We just love Bradley Frizzle. It's my guy, bro. My guy. And shout out Jesus too. We like him too. Great guy. You know what I'm saying? We have not checked on the small account today. It's probably killing it. You know, because the Lord is good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm in a cult. Hey, happy holidays. LMT's on the high. America's gonna keep buying guns. Nice. Thanks, Switzerland. Woo! Yeah, son. We really out here. You're really out here, bro. You're really out here. New all-time high. Trump wins court fight to withhold billions in foreign aid. So yeah, 30,800. That's crazy. That means the other account would have been at like, I think we would have been at like 290 by now. You know, actually no, we were at 29. Yeah, you would have went up like another 10,000. We would have been at 289, 290. That would have been that was like the dynamic. But not bad. I'm very impressed with it. I'm shopping for a house too. I'm not gonna sell this, but if I find a flip with like a $20,000 range, I'm gonna do it to show you guys. But I'm not gonna sell it out. But yeah, long term's killing, man. We still got the same plan. I look forward to it, to executing. God is good, baby, all the time. Been trying to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Peace Sky, Paramount Skydance. A lot of people were talking about that yesterday. Again, even TKO. That's even actually dancing right now here at the high. The food plays, they're going up. They had bad USDA report yesterday, or USAWD. Am I going to keep the small account? Everything's the same. I haven't changed. That's it. So, like, I was going to, like, wait, but I know what you guys do. You guys like to make everything confusing, so I just kept everything the same so that there's zero excuse. So, yeah, I've already deposited into the big account. I'm back to my same $3,000 deposit. I already deposited. I'm just going to use the small account as my OG model, as all of you should do. And then, yeah, so I'm putting in my deposits back to normal. 3,000 on the big account. And then I'm going to go to 300, 330 on the small account, and we'll keep raising it 10% a year. So, yeah, nothing's changed. I just bought a house with it, as you all should. And then you restart, as you all should. This is the plan, and this is like legitimately can turn you to a millionaire. Even if you are a son of immigrants, you don't know anything, do you have 5 to 10 years, and can you save 10%? If you could do those things and watch along, we could make you a millionaire. And this is how we do it. Oh, dude, I have something for you guys. I could put it in the video, but I think I might just tell you live. I might ask you guys. It's only for the farm people. I figured something out yesterday. So it's both good and bad, but I have a plan, so you let me know. But I need to go to the bathroom, though. I really do. So follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter, man. If you get a membership, I will love you. But I probably will love you already if you just save 10% and get a long term. Okay? That's what we need, baby. That's what we need. Let's do it. Let's do it. BRB. Please hold while we connect your propaganda.
Called potential Fed chair in place for several months before the chair's term ends. Though sharply critical on an almost daily basis of Powell for his failures to lower rates, President Trump has recently backed off the threat to fire the chair. And many of the candidates, they've advocated for rate cuts and reform at the Fed, but have also supported in different ways the Fed's independence from the executive branch. Guys, tomorrow, right here on this show, Squawk on the Street, we'll be live from St. Louis for an exclusive conversation with St. Louis Fed President Alberto Musalem. Guys?
Steve, just want to go through all the openings and the options that the president is going to have with the Fed, right? Because so he's just appointed Stephen Myron to finish out the Kugler term, but then theoretically, if he doesn't reappoint him, that's an opening as governor, right? And then there's the Fed chair position next May, but Powell may stay on as governor. So can you just talk about how many options he has here with all of these nominees and ideas?
Yeah, I mean, my expectation is Powell will not stay on as a governor. I think he'll follow the tradition of the chair stepping down from both positions, stepping away from the board, and perhaps enjoying a little time off after several tumultuous and very difficult years as Fed chair. So the president will have 2 open seats is my expectation. I also understand that the more permanent replacement for the Kugler position being occupied by Myron will follow the decision on the Fed chair. So that will come later. And so at the end of the day, the Fed chair will have, depending upon if there are other people who resign, 4 of the 7 board seats. So he'll have a good majority there, and whether or not those board seats are followed by or supported by in their rate decisions by the presidents, they could be more dovish than otherwise
Duolingo
expected.
kind of flushing.
It's interesting, Sarah. Look at the trade in the market. The 2-year obviously
Duo
has
just
been
took a
dovish
$10 flush
in terms of the outlook for the Fed. 10-year, a little bit more circumspect, a little bit more sort of stuck in that zone, as you see there. And looking at the Fed funds trade, there's a 100% chance of a rate cut in September, but now a little bit of tiny toying with a possibility of a 50 in September.
I'm looking at Polymarket. Waller's still got the lead, 32% odds on that. Thank you, Steve. Steve Leisman.
Let's get to the broader markets on this very strong tape as the S&P and the NASDAQ hit some fresh record highs. Our senior markets commentator Mike Santoli is with us to break it down. With the VIX briefly flirted with maybe a 13 handle.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, when these rallies really kind of squeeze out all the bears and run to their fullest extent and start to rotate to include all those other stocks, I mean, seeing VIX in the 12s would not be weird, because that's kind of where you get to in late summer trading if the tape is going to stay in this mode of just rotating away from any danger. Really jailbreak rally yesterday is the way I would put it. I mean, even though people weren't really bracing for something terrible on CPI, because it would have taken a hugely adverse surprise to the upside to offset the downside surprise of the payroll report a week ago Friday. I do think that you basically had this reserve of caution, a what if.
There were
and now
whispers it would be
the
hot.
market's forcing the view that we're looking through the inflation numbers, and you're going to get the rate cut in September. And so that playbook was executed, right? By small caps, by lower quality, by cyclicals, by banks. All that was happening. Meantime, you obviously have the animal spirits trade revving up again with the IPOs, with the M&A story. Credit spreads are super low. It's fascinating, Sarah, because you were saying, you know, before, the consumer is not really flagging. There's not a lot of fatigue in the numbers. If you look at the equal-weighted consumer discretionary against the equal-weighted S&P, it's now outperforming again. So the question is, why are we insisting this economy is screaming out for rate cuts? It's because you can't kind of take away the rate cut expectation from the way the market is positioned right now, right? If we weren't going to get rate cuts in September, maybe discretionary wouldn't be outperforming the way it is. So it's...
That's what I'm saying, but in a weird way, everyone keeps talking about the debate of rate cuts, where I'm just like, no, man, it's almost inevitable if we just keep doing this. So at some point, everyone's going to just be reacting to the actual cut. So I don't know, like, while you're hearing conversation about people debating, I don't think they're debating anymore, is what I'm trying to tell you. So as long as the data keeps doing this, and even then, even if the data gets bad, that's what yesterday showed, you're kind of in that window where even if it's bad, it won't be bad enough. So it's a very odd one, but I don't know. You shouldn't be thinking about rate cut debate. You should be thinking about the impact of a rate cut. Does that make sense? As everybody on TV and everyone's like, rate cut, is they're going to do it. How much? How much? When are they going to? No. You should be talking about what happens when you cut rates. So if they are going to cut rates in September, what the fuck is going to happen? What are you going to do? What do you think is going to move? That's how you should be thinking right now. That is why you keep melting up for no damn reason. And that's fine. Like I'm saying, only some people will get mad at that, but the market could do whatever. But you should be thinking results of rate cut, not if we get rate cut, because that's where it is. Again, if there's a major data shock or something changes, yeah, we could change this. But for now, the front run and the way the market's acting, it seems to be like the rate cut's going to be borderline inevitable at this point. And then it's either September or October, but September you get that SEP, and that would be the moment. So like I'm saying, 30, 45 days. It's interesting the conversation we're having leading into it, though, especially as we're getting like really close to it for real. RXT, UNH still holding. But UNH did this the other day too. It'll go up. If it fades, it'll just bloop. And J&J on the high. I had Intel. AMD was just killing it. AMD's still at the high. SPY's coming down though. So again, you had that like Norway comment. That's what correlates with the drop. I don't think that's why we went down, but ever since then though, you've pretty much given up, got back to open. Russell is advanced though. So last time we were right here on the SPY, the Russell was at 0.6. Now it's at 0.9. And then the Dow is up as well too. So SPY and the other one are struggling. ATNF, that's on the high, ripping. That's the Peter Thiel one from yesterday. And then I just saw Apple move as well. Yeah, Apple's starting to climb. Dollar there into the high. France Macron. President Trump said that any territory issue could be negotiated. Oh, Webtoon. Yeah. What stock is that? We read that. I think I put that down in the morning. That was they did a deal with Disney. So I don't know if that's going to hit the same way. Yeah, WBTN. That was on the stocks to watch this morning. Yeah, this is just a Disney partnership. I have no idea what Webtoon is. I'm surprised it held up. You know, really, people only want like crypto Peter Thiel partnerships. So, hey, we'll take it. Nvidia has been coming down. It's weird. You had like Intel and a few others kind of holding. Intel's in the middle, but AMD's on the high, and then Nvidia going lower. China deal announcement, we don't know. You had good China earnings today from Tencent. Yesterday, Donald Trump signed the 90-day delay. So theoretically, in the next 90 days, you're either going to get a deal or you're going to get another extension. So, but we can't really put a timeline on it. That's why I keep saying, I'm like, it's really funny, because if you really have been tracking everything, we've been waiting for this China deal since last year. And honestly, it's good to have because it gives us something to look forward to. That's why some people are going to get worried once we do have a China deal, what are we going to look forward to? Then we're fucked. But for now, you have something to look forward to. But yeah, we don't really have an idea. 90 days for this tariff delay game until we get a real resolution and deal. MSTR on the low. Is that Pepsi? Oh, okay. Pepsi went higher. I was like, bro, Fig on the low. NTB, Bank of Butterfields. 30 cents. Is that about 1%? It's not loading. MSTR is flushing right now. Did you wake up from a 3-month sleep? I don't know, but going to the group of people who watch it on a 1-minute chart every single minute for every single day for almost a decade, I don't think we're gonna relate to that, brother. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Lock in. Lock in. Axum. China is the #1 food importer. They can't make enough to feed themselves. I've heard of that, actually. I've heard a lot of things with, was it oh, it starts with the yi, something trap. But yeah, it has to do with that. But even then, their economy, I mean, if China could do or don't, what they do or don't will have a lot of serious impacts. Just don't forget, it's just big. It's very, very big. And then God knows whatever other stuff they're working on, from AI to manufacturing. MTH, home heritage. Again, real estate. This is what I'm saying. Like, even think real estate stocks if you are thinking the rate cuts. But we talked about this on the watch list. There's like 2 options with real estate. It either goes up right away or temporary, and depending on the clarity and path of the rate cuts. PGY Unity W2. Okay, high ticker is picking back up again. You're right at VWAP. I mean, it wasn't bad. You just had this little melt. Remember, I was like 90% up. It felt really strong. Came down kind of for no reason, and now we're chilling. But Russell is advancing still. I would have taken a Russell play, but they just had a lot of premium here. So you can still take it if you want, but just be aware of the premium you are paying. Zebra Chewy on the high as well too. Kind of new. I saw that in Nvidia. Is that why they did actually start going down on that, and then AMD started going up? But yeah, I saw that earlier. If you could get Mag 7 moving, but they're all at a quarter, which again, the Nasdaq's only up at 0.3. So very interesting, brethren. Elon with the AI. Elon needs Jesus. Jesus was long term, show me the way, because the market trying to break me down. Long term walks with me. You know what 10% is? Young and restless. Boeing, big flush. That's weird. So, I mean, again, you did have that Norway comment. Someone was just asking me why Boeing was up. I was like, LMT, and you had the Switzerland deal. But, yeah, Boeing just flipped after 235. It's not like bad, but $2 down. And then that's kind of more aggressive. And remember, you had like Boeing, Walmart, UNH. Some of these big behemoths, you know, they lead the Dow. So make no mistake, like that, sometimes you'll see those moves on the index level if it's that big of a company, or if it's, again, Dow related, McDonald's, Walmart, UNH, those will all do that. I mean, Nasdaq's not bad, it's 0.3. I put as on the high. As. What a name. What a name. Snap on the high. High ticker's getting active. Again, though, look, you have like triple the amount on the high, and then you're going down. Look at the low ticker, like just the scope, but that's just big 7, mag 7. So just at the high, we couldn't really break out till they went up, and then even now, you're getting things advancing. You're getting, again, most of the market's in the green, but yeah, your not one mag 7 is moving more than like 0.5% right now. Some are down slightly, but that's it. Boeing is still on the low. UNH is coming back up. XLV still at the high. Again, even Cardinal recovered. That was the one from the bad one from yesterday. Nike's helping out. I think all of the clothing plays. ON got the downgrade, but they ripped 20% yesterday. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. There's UNH again. SPY just within the opening candles, a little bit above. Good morning, legal. 11 million, not as bad. It's better than low, but remember last 2 weeks there was like 14 million randomly. Yeah, okay, now it's moving down. Whirlpool leaps. Be careful with that. So you'll notice any stock that pays like a good dividend, their leaps are weird. Options on stocks that are like dividend payers or like these OG like value plays, they're just not really like, people don't trade those. That's why the spreads, you'll see it. So just be careful with those. Lift on the high, I saw that a couple times, but it says only 30 highs. Yeah, they had that pop earlier, then faded, and now it's doing it again. And then SPY right back into the open. You do have a gap, so you got a little bit of juice, but now you're finally breaking that right now. Took about an hour. It's 10:30 right now, or 10:24. Chewy still going up. I don't know what that was. Okay, SPY now into the low. Candle getting a little bigger. Then you got Zelensky comments right now. Says no talks without Ukraine. There should be a meeting of the 3 leaders. Peace talks should come with sanction pressure, says Zelensky. Intel. All right, so you got a couple things going red. Now Intel's trying to go green. No, I have JP Morgan. So that's my big dividend pair. I don't actually like Goldman. I like Goldman analysts. I know a couple of them, and they watch the watch list, but I don't like. I like their trading products. I like their data, but I don't like them as a bank. I prefer JP Morgan as an investment. And then yeah, I wouldn't ever buy Regen. I should have bought it when my mom wanted to back in the day, but like Abivai is our big, that's like our modern day Regen essentially. If you got Regen like 10, 20 years ago, then yeah, that's a killer one. That's what I'm hoping Abivai is going to turn into, you know, God willing. But at the end of the day, it's JP Morgan's the best one, and then I don't touch biotech like dividend stocks unless it's something I want, like NVO. I want Ozempic. So if it pays the yield, that's part of it, but I don't ever go out of my way for a biotech simply because of the yield, because they have more risk. No, those glasses, bro, why? The glasses don't make me look tall. You guys don't understand. Have you ever seen, listen, have y'all ever seen the movie Ant's Life? Have you ever seen the movie A Bug's Life? Do you not realize that is my point of view on the court? I don't think y'all realize. Do you not see my head swivel and I'm just looking up at everything? You guys don't understand, bro. Y'all gassing me up. You like, oh, you look tall, Josh. Oh, you look, oh, eye level. I'm like, no, man, that's not why. I mean, y'all making me go crazy. Because I'm like, do you not see what I see? Like, bro, you don't see the screens? I like run underneath their legs. That's how. You don't see that, bro? Like, it's not, I don't even go around the screen. I go under it. That's how small I am. And then that's compared to them. But hey, it is what it is. BSLK, little popper. I don't know what it is, small cap. And then SPY, just, you're getting candles at the low. And like I was saying, you get these Zelensky comments. So just remember, today's the burn one with data. Tomorrow, you're going to get more economic US one. And then tomorrow, then we're going to get the peace deal stuff. That stuff is still important, but some of these developments in the last couple days have been getting a little sour or not as good. Boeing again. I like, bro, I want to make a mixtape. I'm gonna make me a Josh Answers and one mixtape. Oh, you guys wait. And then I'm gonna go to Muscle Beach, bro. I'm gonna go to Muscle Beach. Just get ready. I'm exaggerating. You're not that short. Do you not see I am the smallest person on that? You guys. Now y'all trying to gaslight me into saying, y'all trying to gaslight my disadvantage. And y'all like, well, no, actually, you thank God I got the peach, baby. That's the truth right there, babe. Horn. What, you gonna tell me it's an apple now too? You gonna tell me, oh, the apple, Bradley Frizzle in the apple? No, it's a Bradley Frizzle in the peach, baby. Oh, yeah. What up, Peach Nation? Oh, oil inventories, 3 million. Versus estimate of 900,000 draw, and Bradley Frizzle came to save Boeing. Oil inventories came in hot. I don't know if it's gonna drop it. It's actually coming up, but it should kill it. That seemed big. And then Bradley Frizzle, it didn't. The peach came in small, but it came in consistently. Do you not understand that? Y'all don't get it. Do you not get it? That the peach was never. It never was invasive. It never was large. The peach was just small, good decisions consistently. Stop playing with me. God bless the Chad. God bless God. And God bless you, Bradley Frizzle. My man. Amen. Yeah, okay, another Intel move. Oil down and then watch Boeing simply because of Bradley. That's a good thing. That's a good catalyst, believe it or not. Imagine thinking Josh is human, but he's an AI this whole time. I think I'm I. That's it. I'm trying to find intelligence. Fuck artificial intelligence. I want the real one. I don't know what Intel, only AMD. I haven't looked at any of the other. AMD, I guess Marvel, Broadcom flipped red. Yeah, not too many. Boeing. Bradley. Von der Leyen, virtual meeting with Ukraine, very good call with Trump. And European leaders, Europe, US, and NATO have strengthened the common ground for Ukraine. That sounds good. Now von der Leyen's pumping it up. So we'll see. Buffett sold out of Ulta. So technically he did not do it again. No, I feel you though. We should have bought Ulta. We were talking about it at 3 something in the beginning of the year, but Warren Buffett bought into Ulta, then sold out next quarter, and then it ran. Believe it or not. Kind of crazy. I'm Boeing, back to Cali. Yeah, Boeing, man. BSLK, that small cap's doing it again. Hood. It's not bad. 3.8. Kava's worse. Kava came up 10% from the open, but that one's still down 16 off earnings. BWin, DHI. Again, home builders are moving, but look at the low ticker now. So you did finally flush. You haven't filled the gap yet, but take notice now, you do have the low ticker. Remember earlier it was like mad advancing, low ticker wasn't moving, but then the SPY wouldn't move. But now the low ticker is barely in the lead. Still got names going up like Ulta, but you're still into the low. Yeah, long term's doing great today. We had a couple movers. Again, the broadening out, the rotation still in play. So when it's all said and done, I mean, we're still off of yesterday in the last couple of weeks. You know, you're anticipating a rate cut. The economy, you know, you could come up with a lot of ideas about the economy, but just it hasn't slowed down yet, and the tariffs haven't hit yet, or maybe they never will. I don't know, but either way, that's why we're here. It's kind of crazy. And then, dude, I was showing you, man. I showed you guys the calendar. We've been talking about the data, dude. You guys got to realize, man, the year is almost over. Do you guys understand that? You have the September SEP. Then we get what, October, November meeting, and then that's it, bro. I said it yesterday on the watch, bro. I am defrosting the Christmas bells. Do you guys understand? I might have to go get them out right now so you guys can wake up. It's almost the end of the year, dog. That's what I'm saying, and I hate the damn TV. These motherfuckers are talking about what if they cut, not what if they cut, bro. We're getting into the final stretch. You got to be planning and thinking about what is the consequence and result, not if. You see what I'm saying? You should be asking yourself the result right now, not if. Motherfuckers want you to ask if, question, if. No, you need to be planning and move ahead and think towards now from the end of the year and even into 2026. That's why we have such a front run, because there's a lot of people doing that. I love Christmas, I know, but the New Year is scary. I can't believe it's fast. And we have no China deal and all of it, but it's been a good time. We'll get lower taxes, so that'll be fun. We don't rip like anything can happen. I don't know. I encourage you all. This is what I'm like, for real, bro. Some of y'all listen to the TV too much. Because guess what, bro? I understand it. You listen to the TV, the moment you believe them one day, you're going to get a lot of FOMO. Anything can happen. Do you understand? And the prices you see today could go a lot higher or a lot lower, just like that. That's the thing. And that's why you need a plan, diversification. And if you are on a long enough time frame, you have nothing to worry about. So, like I'm saying, it is just unfortunate because it's easy to get caught up in the moment. And that's what happened, right? Tell me that's not what happened this year. Everyone's freaking out and the market's down 30%. Let's be real. I'm not trying to make fun of any of y'all, but some of y'all got caught up in the moment. Did you not? Right? You went from living your life, the election. You were fine, dude. You were living your normal ass life. You went to work every day. You didn't go to work. You did what you did normally. Did you not? Life was totally the same. And then how many people got caught up in the moment and freaked out at the low? And freaked out and like, oh my gosh, and freaked out. It was literally. You got caught up in the moment. What do I mean by that? That people were saying this, it's gonna go down, the tariffs. Oh my God, it's so bad. It didn't help. It didn't help that Donald Trump did crazy shit too. That didn't help. You know what I'm saying? Like when he gets 100, 150, 200, 3, 4, 5. Like that didn't help, you know? But at the end of the day, how many people got caught up? Like you were in there and you were like, oh my gosh, it's gonna stay like this. Oh my gosh, it's only low prices. Oh my gosh, it's never gonna recover. Oh, you got caught up in the moment. Same thing to the high side. It goes up. They're like, nothing could go wrong. Nothing could. Oh my God. Now that again, you go just one of my favorite charts explains this. This is what I was talking about with fireworks too. Where is it? Yeah, my favorite hard landing chart. Look at it. They go. Then they feel good, and then quickly you go from 5% odds to 13. Then you'll spend another 6 months doing nothing. Then they'll go no hard landing to extreme hard landing to maybe to okay, now we're fine. You see what I'm saying? So things can change, and that's why just have a plan and take advantage of the moments while you're in them. But that's how I've been looking at all of this, and that's why there's no guarantee of only up, but I'm not gonna get mad if it does go up. And then there's no guarantee if it goes down. And if it goes down, I'm not going to get mad because I wasn't chasing shit. So we could win no matter what. But the question is, do you have a plan and are you going to get caught up in the moment? Don't doubt your aim. Doubt your effort. Amen. You guys notice all those defense names are coming down. Boeing started slipping, and then you have RTX and LMT even after all that. CRM climbing a little bit. Macron says Trump would also fight for trilateral meeting with Putin and Zelensky. Could take place in Europe. Oh, I think they're trying to get another meeting besides this Alaska one on Friday. Get Money Wednesdays. I like money. You like money? I like money. We still need to do maybe oh my gosh, Chad. We're gonna do that at the farm. We're gonna have a movie night. Because I was like, I still need to show. We need to watch Idiocracy together. But then I want to watch. I saw a clip yesterday. I want to watch. Margin Call again. It's a boring movie, but it's exciting if you like finance. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Your child has been taken by the state and been given to Carl's Jr. I'm gonna watch the clip. So this is the clip that I came up with. Well, it was actually the Chad. We were talking about the data one day. But you know how everybody, that's what I'm saying, getting caught up in the moment. You know how everybody this year was just like, just wait till the Doge job cuts hit. Wait till the tariffs hit. Wait till everything hit. Just wait. It reminds me of this clip from Idiocracy, one of my favorites.
Meanwhile, Rita had awakened to find that the world's oldest profession was a lot easier when the world is populated by morons.
Welcome to AOL Time Warner Taco Bell U.S. Government Long Distance. Please say the name of the person you wish to call.
Upgrade.
There are 9,726 listings for upgrade. Please deposit $2,000 to begin connection.
Man, what?
Yeah, baby.
Hey,
Yeah, baby.
look, can you wait a second, please?
Yeah, baby.
This is the
I
market.
can wait so good.
Yeah, this is everybody with the data.
Really?
Market going down 30%, and then you're like, oh, just wait. I can wait. They're like, it's going to show tariffs. Just wait, baby. Just keep waiting. I can wait so good.
Think maybe you could wait a day?
Baby,
You
I
can wait a
2
quarter?
days.
You can wait 2 quarters?
That's good.
That's good. Can you wait a year?
Because I charge by the hour.
Oh, yeah? Well, you gonna be glad you waited, baby.
Thank you very much, young man.
That's what they do, and then they take your money, and then they say, thank you very much, young man. They do that exactly. That's exactly what happens. Oh, man. This is great. So, yeah, man, you got to think for yourself. Independent, critical thought. Have no fear, brethren. Have no fear. Or you're chilling. These defense stocks are still getting whopped. And then Intel's starting to run a little bit long. AMD actually flipped there. And then Apple is like the only one I see out of all of them. Yeah, Microsoft, Google, none of them are doing shit. Apple's the only one leading on Mag 7. Remember, that was the theme like a week or two ago. So we'll see. I could wait all day. I could wait so good. Yeah, we're gonna hoop on the farm, but I gotta get a cord up there. So we'll see, bro. Let's see. Where is Procter Gamble still up? Chillin'. Who else? J&J. They came down. Centene coming up. Health. UNH chilling too. WM? I mean, consumer staple? Waste management? I think it's a consumer staple. Or a utility. I don't know, actually. That's a very good question. What is waste management? You're talking waste management, right? Yeah. I don't know what sector that is. Now that I really think it's either a utility or a staple. But staple doesn't sound right. But then utility doesn't sound right either. I don't know. That's a great question. What is it, Chad? What is waste? USO, oil dumping. I could check, like, I could put it in a program and see, but off top, I can't really, like, rationalize what sector that is. That's funny. That's a great question. Environmental services. Healthcare solutions. What the fuck? Industrial. I think, no, it says healthcare solution, dog. If you think about it, sanitation is healthcare. Or environmental services. And it's a holding company. Environmental services is technically or business services. Industry garbage. This is getting so complex. Yeah, bro. There's a lot going into this. Commercial services and supply. You could go very broad or very... Yeah, I work in healthcare. Hey, baby girl. Yeah, I've been working in healthcare. Oh, yeah? Where do you work? Waste management. What? Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Business services or environmental services. I like waste management though. We talked about that one. I don't know. I think it's still 2 up. But if that ever like dropped, give me the time machine. Go back in time. That'll be easy. But otherwise, I don't like it at the high. That company is trash. I get it. I want barn dominiums. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so are you guys ready though? So, I came up with a plan. Because, well, we're going into the lows. Let me explain the farm plan when we stop dropping. How about that? So let's see. Once we chill out, I could tell you later. It's not really pressing. But yeah, you are going down right now. Low ticker's picking up. And like I'm saying, anytime the low ticker is moved today, the market actually moved. It wouldn't move to the high when it would move. So just watch out for that. You got a couple names going up, but that's really drying out compared to this morning. I mean, it has been about an hour and 15, but for the most part now, you're getting a lot more downside momentum. Next, CRISPR. Thermo Fisher, that's another medical. Again, XLV is pretty much the leader now, like by far. Because now Staples or Dow and the Russell has came down. Remember, they were up by like 1%. Now Dow's at 0.6, Russell 0.7. Apple still. That's your only Mag 7 runner. So watch though, because if other Mag 7 follows Apple or Apple gives up by the end of the day, that could change everything of how we're looking. So think about that. Because Apple's up now 2% in the middle of all this. Yeah, Barndo with an indoor court. Now we're fucking talking. All right, latest comments for the Putin stuff. Putin and von der Leyen. BMNR is still going up. Again, was that ATNF? I'm surprised it didn't go more, but it's already up 50. But then where is Ethereum today? Core Weave on the low still, and cores. Core Weave, I'm mad though. Those plays hit, but then they didn't. So actually, it's coming up a little bit on the bid, but like that Core Weave, you had 200% in the morning for like a minute or two, but then they dropped the bid for some odd reason. Yeah, it's still there. Honestly, give it another, if Core Weave drops like another $4, which is a lot, but if Core Weave could drop $4, your plays are going to move. Those will be up 100%. We got them for a penny. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, they were going for 4 cents earlier. Besant floats rolling out export tax to more industries. Apple's still going. Again, Wyndham, we saw that earlier. Remember I called out one of those pops? Yeah, oil's just getting murdered right now. Bullard says Fed chair interview process under construction. Nice. I don't know what the oil headline is, but the premiums are good. That like really moved oil premiums, so that's a little surprising. That means they caught it off guard. And then again, Intel rising up, and China too this whole time. Don't forget, China yesterday, that had a late day, like that was early, and then that led everything, but China's still holding, surprisingly. Bullard don't think that Congress is in the mood to change the Federal Reserve Act. Live on CNBC? Where? My CNBC not loading. Bullard was always hot. I remember I said that right before they nominated him. I was like, bro, the only person I ever respected at that time was Bullard. Like, he was willing. Oh, HI. Hillenbrand. Whoa. That has to be a buyout, right? HI up 15%. They already 480'd it. There's literally nothing on there. Fuck. Yeah, they ain't gonna fill that shit. That has to be a buyout. Oh! Alright, I got one. I found one. Surprise. I only got one. It's not. I don't trust this one.
And make it count.
Ah! I don't trust that one. But yeah, whatever the fuck that's just too big. It's only at 9%. I have no idea what this is. But that just went 9 to 15, then came back down. They 480'd every. I got one. And it's already. They're already glitching out the chain, but I have no idea what it is. So be very careful. Again, it cost me like 30 bucks, I think. 30 or 35. Says if he were chair, he would try to end groupthink. I mean, again, Bullard was the OG guy during Biden who was actually hawkish. And he was the first dude to say cut or raise rates and a lot of things. Oh, wait, Bain prepares $340 million bid to buy Japan electricity seller Rezel. I don't know if Hillen is related to that. There's another deal right now. Okay, where is Bullard back up there? Let me pull it up.
You know, bullish. That's how I hear it talked about a lot, but they also are the parent of CoinDesk. They, you know, are in the business of data and indexing and events, of course. And I think it's really interesting at this point in time. Of course, we're seeing yet another crypto company try to take advantage of the crypto-friendly stance from the Trump administration by going public. You saw eToro recently circle, of course, the uplisting of Galaxy Digital, but I think also to the point that you guys were making in that clip, the idea of tokenization is just becoming a lot more real. We've heard Larry Fink from BlackRock talk about that as an important step to the technological revolution of finance, the tokenization of everything. We've seen BlackRock, start to put things like money market funds on a blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain specifically. And it's just, I've been going to these conferences for years and years as a crypto reporter, hearing all of these institutions talk about the future of tokenization, but it really is starting to feel more real. And so Bullish is a little bit different from exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, and that it is more institutionally focused, and it does kind of blend, decentralized finance protocols with the security of a centralized
company. They're spending, I think, $1 billion on the stable coins that they're going to be buying. They're using Solana as the rails, not Ethereum. I don't know. I mean, are we going to see more? I mean, is there just even more coming?
You know, I think so, and I go back to BlackRock, which you remember really took the lead when it came to Bitcoin ETFs. You know, for 10 years, the crypto industry said it was so important to have a Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock jumps in and we get it months later. And so I think you're seeing the same thing with tokenization. It's just starting to become a much more productive conversation versus, yes, that makes sense and sounds important, but this is finance and it's highly regulated and these things do not happen overnight. I do think Tom Farley said that these things don't happen overnight, but I do think it's becoming a much more productive conversation, and you are going to start to see some real integration, and especially after, the SEC recently announced Project Crypto to be able to reassess the rules and regulations to be able to bring the traditional finance world on chain, so to speak.
Yeah, we tried to get, we did talk to Farley a bit about, certainly BlackRock's U-turn is essentially what it was, but also the things that Jamie Dimon had said about Bitcoin in the past, Charlie Munger had said about,
Intel,
the institutions had sort of negative qualitative things to say, and yet they're all participating now.
Yeah, sort of the future, however you think of it, is moving in this way, and it kind of feels like the institutions are finally waking up to the fact that they're having to forward.
My question is it getting crowded out there? I mean, bullish. You mentioned eToro. We'll talk to the CEO next hour. Robinhood. I guess they cater more toward retail.
Yes,
versus institutional.
And there are institutional services there, of course. You know, Coinbase provides the custody for so many of the ETFs, but they are, in terms of the exchange and trading business, you know, where you're trading actual cryptocurrencies, a little bit more focused on the retail investor.
All right, Tanea, thank you.
After the break this morning, a closer look at Kava today, getting slammed as the company reports some disappointing comps, now down 50% from the highs. More on the fall from grace from one of Wall Street's former darlings when Money Movers begins after this.
All right. Well, I wanted to hear Bullard, so we'll see. Oh, what was that other one? Intel's climbing up, about to hit a high. The one yesterday, was it BRB? Brown Foreman, or was that wasn't Burke, but that reminded me. I know Futu's part of the Chinas though, man. All the China plays, again, that 10-cent earnings and people feeling a serve. Oh, it was on BBG. I thought you said CNBC. I turned on the wrong propaganda source. Trump's going live? JD Vance with the Air Force. Yeah, Trump announces Kennedy Center honorees. Holy shit. Your boy is coming. Intel. Can't you see? Sometimes the CEO just hypnotize me. I just love your foundry ways. This is why you're broke and the video's paid. I put INTC off of SPYE. Okay, I'm sorry. You know, middle of the day, you guys, I go crazy. Do you not notice that? So I'm locked in right now and I'm giving you good work, but just all these little songs I keep singing. Just remember, by middle of the day, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Okay, in a good way. But yeah. You know that? Did you know when I was in 3rd grade? I don't know how, but it was my sister. I finessed one of them Nokia phones with Snake in the 3rd grade. Right? And then, do you know what my, you want to know what my ringtone was? Listen, bro, I'm a 3rd grader. Imagine this. I don't know if any of you have anybody have a child in the 3rd grade? Does anybody have a 3rd grader? Because this is what, I had a ringtone when I was in the 3rd grade. Are you ready? This was it. I'm Googling the ringtone to see if I can have it. Yeah, let's see if you guys know what it is. Are you ready? Oh wait, is this it? Let's see if this one is it. It's only 2 seconds, 4 seconds. That was my ringtone. Do you understand that? That was my ringtone in the 3rd grade. That's so, I don't know, bro, how did I end up loving Jesus? Dog, you have, honestly, bro, like I got into some crazy shit later in life, but I'm like, man, the Lord has saved me, you know that? I should have been terrible. I'm already bad. But like, dog, 3rd grade and I'm rocking Big Pimpin'. Big Pimpin', spend the G's. It's just like, dude, do any of you have 3rd graders doing that? Because that's what I'm saying. My parents had no idea. They had no idea. How did I hear that? My siblings. I was the youngest. So, and then we all wanted to be American because we got made fun of by the white people. So we wanted to conform to culture. And we were like, yeah, we did what our parents said we weren't supposed to do. And then we wound up with Jay-Z, okay? You know? And I think God made me unattractive, because then I would have probably ended up at a Diddy party. So thankfully, God knew and he protected me from day one. So I can't even get into the Diddy parties. They're like, we don't serve lizards. I said, wow. See, that's what I mean, where I could go crazy. I've been saying some crazy shit. You know why? Because I got myself in the headphones, so I sound different. So I'm able to think clearly, a lot clearer, but then I just say whatever comes to my mind, which isn't always good. So, yeah. Meta on the low. You had some Bone Thugs and Harmony, my guy. That's what's up, though. You feel me, though. Like, you know? Amen. And then the last stream alert looks like I said, hi, Big Pop, but the stock is HI. So the stock is HI, but if you read the stream alert and look down, it just says, hi, Big Pop. I'm not calling you daddy. I'm just saying that HI, the stock, had a big pop. It's up 12 again. But yeah, that one hit. But it reads really weird if you look down. I read it odd. I do. I love Larry June. I looked down. I was like, who the fuck is texting me? I looked down, I'm like, who the fuck is texting me? Hi, Big Pop. I'm like, what the fuck? What'd you say to me, sir? I'm like, I don't know you. Is that against rocket? Zoom TLT again. Remember earlier TLT pop caused this little decline. Like, I don't know if it caused it, but it correlated. So watch out for that. See if that ends up moving. Okay, technically a new low. But dude, you haven't even filled the gap. You're in, like, so you're still green. Everything's solidly green. NASDAQ and SPY might go red here. Give it a couple minutes, but you got a nice gap. And then pretty much NASDAQ and SPY go red, then Dow will probably be maybe 0.3. But then if the other one goes down, then that's it. So, or like pretty much by the time Russell and Dow flips red, SPY will probably be down like 0.4, 0.5-ish. That's my guess. It doesn't have to play out like that. We still got weird rotation dynamics. Again, financials and a couple other question marks still exist. So I wouldn't force it, or I wouldn't be confined to any early idea, especially when today doesn't have anything. You know, we are just still waiting to get through today and then the peace deal and the real data. Pizza. This thing moves like crazy, bro. But yeah, I like it. Remember, they had killer earnings, you guys. Pizza, just like our theory, as long as demand goes up. So, like, I don't know if you guys believe in the future of Papa John's, you have a duty to tell everybody that you eat Papa John's, because it has a real effect. I don't think you realize it. And that's it. You are one social wave away from this becoming Domino's. So, yeah, I'm telling, and again, and you know why I stand by this? Because a lot of y'all are cappers. Y'all liars. And I mean this with love. I love you, but you're a liar. You know why? Every time you say Papa John's, they like, oh, it tastes like cardboard. Oh, it tastes bad. Oh, it don't. Shut up. They all taste the same. That's y'all lie. Y'all. When did y'all get bougie over pizza? When? When did you seriously? When did y'all start? Oh, Domino's. Oh, when did you get so bougie? We grew up eating Little Caesars, brother. Do you understand? Pizza. Yeah, bro. I don't know if they feel me. I don't think it's the worst but best. I agree with you on that, because they're all the worst but best. If you ain't getting real, like, or get like gourmet pizza, bro, it's all the same. Any delivery, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, Little Caesars is the best because it's cheap. And it's fire for how cheap it is. But that's it. Otherwise, what are we talking about? Like, you know? But yeah, the pizza had good earnings. And HI is exploring a sale. So we got that before. I just got it off the move. I only have one. They hit. It's up a couple 100%. I'm actually almost in the money, believe it or not. It's the thuggish ruggish ball. Yeah, Costco pizza really is a league of its own. Because I like it, bro. I like Costco. I think Costco pizza is probably one of my favorites. But it does taste really bland. It's very but that's why I like it. It doesn't have the chemical taste. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, Caesars all have chemicals. They taste like chemicals. Costco just tastes like cheese cardboard, which I can vibe with tremendously. Okay, SPY going down a little lower. I like Costco better than Little Caesars. Otherwise, Costco's just different. But then I will never get Costco unless I'm at Costco. Does that make sense? It's one of the best pizzas, but I'll only buy it if I'm going to Costco. I'll never go out of my way to get Costco pizza. Yeah, bro. Oil's still... I don't have any headline on oil. I think it might be the UK Starmer and then the NATO discussions over the Russia-Ukraine shit. But yeah, I don't have anything on that. Oil's pretty whopped, 1.5. But again, dude, 60s. Just remember, man, if we could get back to those 50s, I like that a lot. A lot. IBB on the high, biotechs. Intel still holding, SPY still going down, and again, just notice the low ticker. XLV, healthcare running up again. So that's like your real leader today. It's 1%. And now Russell Dow got cut in half from the high. I don't go to Europe, actually. I still need to go at the end of this year, though. It sucks because we have the farm, but that might get in my travel plans. But I do want to go to Europe this year, before the year ends. AON. Iona. It's the thuggish ruggish ball. Why did you say that, bro? That's in my head now. Yeah, I want to go to Switzerland. Go to Egypt with my dad so I could get shot? What do you mean, bro? Do you know my dad is like wanted in like Muslim countries? You know that? Like my dad has a bounty on his head. So then that's how the Lord is with us, brother. No one's collected it yet. Amen. SG. I like sweet greens, man, but oh no. Bullish between 60 and 65. Nibis on the low too, and again, healthcare. Oh, his chart. I asked email tradingfraternity@gmail.com, but I remember you saying this yesterday. I didn't see anything from you. So if anything, cancel. You could even, we'll get you a refund and all of it, but go through Teachable and just cancel the subscription so that you don't get charged, because I'm not even seeing your emails. That is kind of the problem here. So yeah, just cancel it. There's even, if I can't get to it and refund it for you, or have somebody on the team do it, then you might have to do it on there, but I don't even see any of your emails or anything. So just cancel it. Email tradingfraternity@gmail.com right now, if possible, but to prevent any of that down the line, just cancel and request the refund right away. And then too, man, I don't know what to tell you guys. Also, like I said, man, in the past though, if y'all have been more of a drag on the stream alerts process, if you've done any chargebacks for merch or anything else, you are barred from coming to the compound. That's not, unfortunately, or at least you'll be very last on the list when it's all said and done. So that's why I'd rather have easier solutions than not. So don't let this be an issue for you. That's what I'm saying. Just cancel it, get the email, we'll get you refunded. You're not going to lose any money, but I don't want it to be a drag or an issue, and especially if we could stop it now. I know it's reaching, but it didn't hit. I'm looking at it, bro. Because that play, if we had more of like a shocking reaction, it would have hit. But yeah, that hasn't climbed yet. They're putting bids on the other one. You might need a little more, sadly. Okay, but are you ready? I'll just tell you guys my plan. Are you ready? I have a new thing with the farm. I have an idea. Because I'm getting different companies for the background check. And they're giving me very weird prices. But I pretty much found a way where, like, I made a model to assume. So long story short, the general idea of the pricing is like the video I told you. So here's what I wanted to tell you. Are you ready? We're gonna do 50 people at a time for a weekend, 2 days. 2 days, 50 people. If you could live in, first come, first serve, if you want to sleep in the house, any of the houses. Otherwise, you got to bring your own RV or your own tent for the first one. But then I figured out the pricing even with background check, and it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. But here's my plan that I wanted to share with you. I could tell you the price. This is what I was going to do. I was going to tell you the price and what we need to cover our costs, right? But then I could give you that, and I think we could easily do it. But then I also was thinking, I was like, wait a minute. Why don't we just charge 50% more so we could get a buffer? So I am going to be fully transparent with you guys, and you tell me what you think. Are you ready? So if we did 50 people at a time at $200 a person for 2 days, and that's including the background check. So that means, so technically it's cheaper than $50 a night, depending on the cost of the background check. And then once you get a background check, you won't need it in the future. And that's what I was going to tell you guys too, for the stream alerts, guys. Once you have gone to the compound, and once we already have your shit and like you're legit, we're going to give you guys like free stays. You could come at least like once a month whenever you want. And like shit like that once we really get it rolling. You see what I'm saying? That's what I have in mind for you guys. So, but the first, we have our idea to move forward. So very simple. For the weekend, $200 for the first one. That would give us covering costs, right?
Try that again. Good afternoon, Fairford.
Woo! Hello.
I see a lot of joint force partners out there. That's good to see.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready. All right. But yeah, so no, here's the deal though. I think that's very reasonable, but that's the minimum. But then I'm like, all right, if anything happens, we're already doing some other stuff. How would you guys feel if I charged $300? Because then that way, if we do $300, I'm going to charge 50% more. But then that way we could have a buffer for any other expenses or down the line when somebody's, people are going to want free shit and people are going to need it. We'll be able to actually assist without it dragging on us too much. So $200 covers costs, $300 will cover cost and give us a buffer. So yeah, that's where we're at. But it's totally doable though. Like I'm saying, $200-300, and then it's 50 people at a time. We are honing in on that, and we could do it. And like I'm saying, it's just it'll just be dependent on whether you're gonna bring a camper or not. And I do think it's like a lot in a little bit amount of money, but then also too, it's like at the end of the day, if you can't even afford a certain amount, I wouldn't want you to spend travel costs, and I wouldn't want you to waste time and money, because it's probably, if you're not in California, it's going to cost you more than $300 just to travel here. You see what I'm saying? So our property will be free. And then, like I'm saying, once we get rid of the background checks, once you've been there and you have a good rep with us, I mean, the door is going to be open for you in the future. A lot easier. So yeah, like I'm saying, cover cost at 200. We're making money at 300, and then we could build a reserve. And then, yeah, other than that, we could do 50 people at a time, maybe more, maybe less, but I like that number. 50 at a time. Right now we're at once a month, but we could do more or less depending on what we want to do. So yeah. And then JD Vance. So you think about that, baby. You think about it. Oh, overalls.
What I say, and all the Red Dragon folks as well.
Burb.
When I say that we are proud of the special relationship and we are proud to work together with our British friends right here at Fairford Base. God bless you all. So, here's a simple thing. We've got a beautiful country here. We've got a beautiful alliance. And I think every single one of you know that for over 100 years, we have worked with our friends from the United Kingdom to achieve great victories. And if you look at the long sweep of history, every time something big happens for the world, every time a great victory is won for freedom and for peace and for prosperity, it is almost always the Brits and the Americans that do it together, and we win every single time we go to war together. You guys know that as well as anybody. But it's not just about going to war, and it's not just winning when we do. When we work together, when we fight together, when we make it clear that we always approach every situation with an open hand, but if things go poorly, we're willing to do what we have to do. We make it easier to achieve peace and prosperity all over the world. So I want to say, from all of us back home in the United States, for all the people that you serve with, that you fight for, that you make it possible to live the American dream in peace and prosperity, we are proud of you. We are grateful for you. And as your vice president, I am damn proud to be here with you today. God bless every single one of you. Now, it would be impossible for me to list every single thing that has happened just from this single base over the past 100 years. From World War I to our operations against terrorists in Yemen, the history of this base, of its mission, of all of the things that we've done with our friends from the United Kingdom, it is a very, very proud tradition. So I won't try to list everything that we've done, but you guys know the mission, you guys know the story, and you guys know the history. We have done so much with our English friends, with our friends from the UK. And, I started I started the week at a place called Chevening with the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom, further south in the country in a county called Kent. And what we did is we worked on one of our most important shared security goals in Europe, which is the end of the war between Russia and Ukraine. The President of the United States came in 6 months ago, and I just talked to him right before I came on the stage, and he said very simply that we are going to make it our mission as an administration to bring peace to Europe once again. But as you all know, it is impossible to bring peace anywhere unless the bad guys are also worried that we've got a hell of a fine Air Force and a hell of a fine military to back up the peace to begin with.
Thank
you.
you.
So what you guys do, even though you may not see it every single day, is
I hope I'm not. I don't know if I'm too loud over him or not.
You make it possible for us to accomplish the president's goals through negotiation. You make it possible for us to go into a room and say, yes, we want peace. Yes, we want to work together. Yes, we'd like to bring an end to this terrible conflict, but we've also got some great airmen back at Fairford and other bases. They're going to make sure that no matter what happens, the peace and the prosperity and the goals of the American people
52
are
months?
going to be well served by what
you're
do.
getting scammed.
So
That's an impersonator.
I think if you look back at the last 6 months, if you look back at the number of lives that we've saved in Rwanda and the Congo, the president ended a 30-year war there. If you look at what we've done in the East Asia, where the president ended a conflict, in Serbia, Kosovo, where the president has brought peace to that area of the world, and now, in just a couple of days, with the president heading to Anchorage, Alaska, to try to achieve an end to this terrible war in Russia and Ukraine. You guys make that possible. You guys are the reason why we can go into a negotiation with strength. You guys are the reason why we have leverage in these conversations with world leaders, because they know that if we cut a deal, it is backed up by the finest fighting force anywhere in the world. And that is what makes your job so important, and that's what makes it so important and such a proud moment for me to be here with you today. Because nothing that I do, nothing that we do as an administration is possible without the hard work, the courage, and the skill that you guys bring to the job. Now, I mentioned earlier I was at Chevening meeting with the British Foreign Secretary. I've met with a number of foreign leaders just in the last, hour. I had a call with about 30 European leaders. And over the past couple of days, I've met with a number of leaders across the UK, across political parties, across the generations, because that's one of the great things about the UK's special relationship with the United States is it cuts across political alliances, it cuts across political parties, it cuts across generations, because we've been working together for literally centuries. And you know what every single person that I meet often tells me? They tell me about how impressed they are by the skill, by the determination, and by the dedication of the American military. You all are what make it possible for us to do what we do. When Marco Rubio, our great Secretary of State, goes to engage in some diplomatic negotiation, he knows that he's got the great people of the Secretary of Defense standing behind him. And that fact, the fact that people are impressed by you, the fact that so many people are frankly afraid of you, is why we're able to do what we do as an administration. So I just want to say from the President of the United States, who again I just spoke to, and he told me to give you this message. We're proud of you. We're grateful to you. We know that it's not always an easy job. We know there are often long hours, but I hope you know that the peace and the prosperity and the safety of your countrymen depend on you doing a good job, and we are damn proud of the job that you do every single day. God bless you all, and thank you for having your Vice President here in the UK.
Whoa. Hold on. I don't know. I think Donald Trump's had another one, or I don't know if this is it. Yeah, there's two of them. There's the Kennedy Center. There's one with Trump, and then that's Mr. JD. All right, man. Well, you got a little bounce. Department of Agriculture moves to terminate union contracts for employees in animal, plant, and food health safety agencies. Yeah, IWM's killing it. Back to one. That little bounce there. SPY went up with it, but realistically, that was the Russell doing up more. All right, well, that's it. JD's done. We're going to get Trump soon, but JD said some stuff. It hit the wire, but not too crazy. UWMC just might be a front run with all the rate stuff. I haven't been looking. Yeah. Again, Arquite is up. Like I'm telling you, bro, rate cuts. And it's not if, it's the result now. And that's what you're looking ahead for. So some of these names I think are moving on that, especially real estate ones. We talked about it on the watch list yesterday, though, because real estate, it is going to benefit off of it, but then it could also be a little different, just depending on the plan that we get. The rate cut plan and the path and how soon, how much, all of that. Beyond the first cut. I'm not talking about the first cut. I'm talking about the second, third, fourth. All right. Amazon. Or is that the downside? I don't know if that's the Amazon inverse or not. Yeah, Amazon's ripping now. All right, that's his second one. Again, you had Apple. That was your only 1%er. And now Apple came down, but then you got Amazon playing along. Microsoft, Meta, or Microsoft not as much. Google. Yeah, so again, more Mag 7. That's going to give you more. Look at the high ticker. You're back up. This time you have Amazon playing along. Apple's up, but not moving up. And then, yeah, you have all the other names. An executive order. Let's see. I have it up, but I don't see him yet. JD. BSLK. That was that small cap earlier. And then Sweet Greens is running too. We should do some push-ups. It's 8:30. Oh, I'm so down, brother. I'm so sore though. Like, do you guys get it now? I be balling, bro. You see why?
CBRE, Cushman & Wakefield, Newmark,
STAA,
JLL, all raising their outlooks for 2025.
Whoa,
it's the first
Star
time, actually,
Surgical,
all five have increased
7%.
guidance since 2020. Joining us now is Colliers President and CEO of the U.S. and Latin America, Gil Barak. It's good to have you, Gil. So
I got one.
Is the outlook improving?
I do. That's just like the other one. 7%, 9%.
Thank you. Thanks. Good to be here. Yes, the outlook
might be
is
a dud
improving for us.
So again, I just took that one. That was just like the HI one. So the second one never hits, so be careful. But that just moved up 5% on nothing. They had a cheap option. Yeah, so do a push-up. Do a push-up. We gotta stand up. Wow. Let's see. All right, yes. Get the body up, bro. Get the body up. Move around. Stretch. Use your body. And then that's it, man. But we got an hour. Every hour, you get an opportunity to grow, improve. Woo! I just made 500%. I made it free. And now I'm gonna finish my push-up. I was gonna start with push-up. There you go. There, fully. Boom, 500%. I got a couple more for free. All right, man. Stand up, chest to the sun, flex the core. Again, market moving around. Wait, I have more? Okay, now it's fully filled. They're up 1,000% on the ask, but I just took 500 to get my money. Damn, bro. Fire. Fire. But I'm going to do my toe workouts. I'm going to go to the wall here in a sec. Let me get you some propaganda.
It's come down, and that, in part is obviously spurring activity as well. But that said, folks will be focused on what the Fed chair has to say, because that obviously influences the confidence and the activity in the overall economy.
What's going on with office specifically, Gil? That was always the outlier, right? It was slow to come back after COVID, not fully there. People changed their perceptions of what they want and how they work. What are we seeing now?
Again, we're seeing a return to the mean a little bit. It's taken 5 years. It's taken an awfully long time. People do work differently, and I expect that will continue, this sort of hybrid where you're not in the office 8 to 5 every day like it was prior to the pandemic, but the office utilization is up, not as rigorous as it was prior to 2019, but definitely there. More people in. Again, it took a lot of time, but we seem to be in a new cadence that is having people back overall more in the office than not. And as a result, activity has increased, both leasing activity and investment sales activity. We've seen that ramp up in the last 3 to 4 months in particular. And of course, we also have supply that has decreased as over the last 4 or 5 years as demand decreased. So that's sort of come into equilibrium a bit. And we've seen conversions from office to residential. It's not always possible to do that. It is expensive, but we've seen more and more of that. And so what we really have is the classic demand and supply coming into equilibrium more, and as a result, significantly more activity in that asset class.
Yeah, we've got some conversion success stories here in Lower Manhattan, that's for sure. We spent a lot of time, Gil, talking about data center. Long term, do you think the access to power is going to create a ceiling on development in that sector?
I do think it is creating a ceiling, yes. And it is currently, and I think that's going to be an ongoing problem, that and land. But what people are smart when they, it takes a bit of time to figure out alternatives. And I think we're already seeing certainly hyperscalers and others move to secondary cities, find new locations where there's more available power to do what they need to do to build the data centers. So I think it is an ongoing and natural constraint. It's hard for the power grid to keep up with the speed of the AI demand, but in time, I think it'll get figured out, and we'll see
still
more
flushing.
hubs where,
All right, man,
in
I'm gonna do a
secondary
wall
cities
stretch, so hold on.
where there's AI is being fed or being serviced because it can't all come from primary cities.
What about, I mean, you operate in 70 countries. How do you decide where you're most bullish on right now? Is it demographics? Is it politics? I mean, we're paying really close attention to, for instance, the New York City mayoral election and wondering what the real estate impact is going to be. That's obviously a hyper-local example. But how are you assessing which markets are better than others?
So the good news is that we are diversified, right? And we are in a lot of countries. So for us, that tends to smooth out any particular political or other activities. Take, for example, the New York City mayoral race. Yes, it's going to have an impact in New York, I think, but it's not going to impact us overall. Right now, I would say in terms of asset classes, office is a nice place to concentrate for the reasons we've just talked about. Industrial seems to be moving into equilibrium, and then you've got a lot of opportunity in industrial hubs, the traditional industrial hubs, Inland Empire, for example, in California, as well as secondary cities. Those seem to be very popular, and I think it's true globally. My focus is mostly in the U.S., but I think that's a fairly a consistent fact around the globe.
Would you change your strategy in New York depending on the results of the election?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to, I think it's an episodic event that certainly needs to be monitored, and maybe some adjustments will be required. But I think, like anything else, whatever the result will be, we tend to, as a society, get used to it and try to figure out how best to operate in whatever new world there might be. I don't think it's going to be a major impact for us.
Okay. Gil, thank you for joining us with all the color on demand and the strategy. Gil Boruch, the Colliers U.S. CEO.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Let's get a news update with Silvana Hanel. Hi, Silvana.
Hey, Carl. Good morning. A federal appeals court overturned a court ruling today that required the Trump administration to continue making billions of dollars of foreign aid payments. So the three-judge panel said in a 2-1 ruling that the lower court was wrong to order the administration to restore foreign assistance payments previously approved by Congress. Tennessee officials say 3 people died after flash flooding hit Chattanooga overnight, shutting down interstates, stranding cars, and leading to swift water rescues. According to authorities, 2 adults and 1 child were killed when a tree fell on their car this morning, and at least 1 person went missing after being swept away by the floodwaters. Chattanooga Airport recorded nearly 6.5 inches of rain on Tuesday. And the White House ordered a review of the Smithsonian Museums in D.C. ahead of the country's 250th birthday. In a letter, the Trump administration gave the museums 120 days to replace what it calls divisive or ideologically driven language. The president accused the institution earlier this year of spreading anti-American ideology. Sarah?
Okay, Silvana, thank you. As we head to break, we are watching crypto trading platform Bullish making its public debut this morning right here at the New York Stock Exchange. Pricing at $37. The indication now is set to open between $70 and $75. That is bullish.
When we come back as well, we'll talk with the CEO of one of its competitors, eToro, just out with some quarterly numbers, how the run-up in Bitcoin and Ethereum is powering results as the NASDAQ briefly goes red. Stay with us.
I said, I don't care. I'm president of the United States. I won't do it. They said, please. And then Susie Wells said to me, sir, I'd like you at our house. I said, okay, Susie, I'll do it. That's the power she's got. But I just, so I have agreed to host. Do you believe what I have to do? And I didn't want to do it, okay? They're going to say, he insisted. I did not insist. But I think it will be quite successful, actually. It's been a long time. I used to host the Apprentice finales, and we did rather well with that. So I think we're going to do very well, because we have some great honorees, some really great ones. Since 1978, the Kennedy Center Honors have been among the most prestigious awards in the performing arts. I wanted one. I was never able to get one. This year, it's true, actually. I would have taken it if they would have called me. I waited and waited and waited, and I said, The hell with it, I'll become chairman. And I'll give myself an honor. Maybe I'm going to honor, next year we'll honor Trump, okay? This year the board has selected a truly exceptional class of honorees. I mean, really exceptional. First is country music star, actor, and producer George Strait. Great. Over an extraordinary 4-decade career, George has sold more than 120 million records worldwide, amassed 60 #1 hits, wow, and produced 33 platinum certified albums, more than any other living American. That is amazing. He's believed by millions of people to just be as good as you can get, and he's beloved by hundreds of millions of people all over the world. He's really something, and they call him the king of country, and we know him very well, George Strait. Okay, please. Oh, it looks nice. You're a good-looking guy. I hope he still looks like that. Second is actor, singer, philanthropist, and star of the Broadway stage. One of my favorite talents. I think he's one of the greatest talents I've ever actually seen. I've always said,
one more set.
and just so we don't get in trouble, I'll say among the greatest artists in the world are the Broadway London actors back and forth. That's all they want to do is they want to do Broadway and they want to do London. They want to do 8 shows a week, including matinee on Wednesday. And if you said make a movie, they can't even think about it. If you say go on television, they don't want to. All they want to do is be on the stage, the live stage, and it's amazing. But I've always said they're the most talented people. And this man may be the most of all. Michael Crawford is being honored. Michael was born in England in 1942. He made his Broadway debut in 1967. I was there. I shouldn't say that, but I was there. Seems like a long time ago. And he became an international sensation in the 1980s for his original portrayal of the Phantom of the Opera, one of the greatest ever, 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 ever. You don't see him like that very often. Winning him the esteemed Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical. He's won so many awards. Michael is truly a generational talent, had a voice that was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. There's never, I don't know, it's Luciano Pavarotti had a very different voice. The power was incredible, magnificent. Michael had a different kind of a voice. These are just unbelievable talents. But Michael is very special and one of the greatest roles in the history of Broadway. And nobody did it like him. Michael Crawford, thank you very much. Great guy. Next, we look forward to honoring 3-time Oscar nominee, Golden Globe Award winner, an action movie icon, and a friend of mine. He's a very unique man. He's somebody that doesn't do these things. I said, I wonder if he'll accept, because some people don't really want to be honored. They don't care. But he was very honored to be honored, I will tell you. He's a very special guy. A real talent, never been given the credit for the talent. There was nobody else could have done the roles that he did like he did. I'm not even close, and they've tried and they didn't work out too well. His name is Sylvester Stallone. So it's very few, almost if any, people that could have taken a name and made it so incredible, like Rocky, Rambo, Creed, and others. But think of it, Rocky, Rambo, if you did one, you're good. You do two, and I'll never forget, I was a young guy, and I went to see a thing called Rambo, and it had just come out. I didn't know anything about it, but I was in a movie theater, like we used to go to movie theaters a lot, and I said, this movie is phenomenal, what the heck? And that turned out to be a monster. Rocky is Rocky. I mean, the way that happened, Sly had no money, nothing, and he went around, and everybody wants to do a boxing movie. It's the most, probably more than any other type of character, boxing, always boxing. It's so great. And there's rarely been anything like this one. John Voight did a great one, as you know. Champ, great. I think that was right there, too. John Voight's a phenomenal person, phenomenal actor. But Sly came in and he had no money. He wrote a script along with thousands of other people writing scripts on a boxer. And for some reason, a studio picked up this and liked it. And Sly he's in an old car that he came in from Brooklyn or someplace in New York, but I think Brooklyn. It barely made it to California. He was sleeping in the car. He had nothing. And he wanted control over who the actor was going to be, because he said it can't be successful if you're going to pick a movie actor with a bad build, okay? A nice face, but a bad body. And he said, I can't have these guys, because he's a tough cookie, and he knew exactly what it took. He knew what a boxer's body was. So they brought him one, and I won't tell you who it was, but it was a big name, but the chest wasn't exactly what you need.
Came down.
One shot, and your heart would pop out.
I was like, bro, I'm forgetting
That
to
wasn't too
stretch.
good. Then he did another one, and it
I
was
can still stay
fat,
Oil's
sloppy,
still going down.
but had a good face. Then he did another one, and another one, and another one. And he turned it down. He wouldn't take $1 million. He wouldn't do it. And it turned out that when they saw him, they said, you'd be actually pretty good for this role. And he had never done this before, anything like it. But think of it, he turned down $1 million. He had nothing. He refused to let somebody else play. He didn't want to play it. He wasn't originally, he did it as a writer. But he ended up playing it because he couldn't find anybody else that fit the role. And who knew what would have happened? He's become a legend of the silver screen, a true legend, and he's a great guy. He's a little bit tough, a little bit different, I will tell you. He's a little tough guy. But he's a phenomenal person with a phenomenal wife and family. Incredible wife, incredible family.
Oh, dude, I saw this
His film's grossing more than $7.5 billion, which is either a record or very close to it. I can't imagine anybody doing more. If you add up Rambo and Rocky and these others, I can't imagine anybody doing much more. 7.5 billion worldwide over the course of 6 decades. And Sly is a pillar of the really American pop culture and a Hollywood superstar like few others, and one of the biggest names on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In fact, the only one that's a bigger name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they say, is a guy named Donald Trump. I'm on the Hollywood Walk of Fame too, if you can believe that one. But he's amazing. He's really amazing. And he's actually a great actor. Fourth will be together celebrating one of the most revered singers of the American disco era, Gloria Gaynor. Best known for her chart-topping 1978 hit, I Will Survive. Gloria won the 1980 Grammy for Best Disco Recording, and her song was inducted into the National Recording Registry in 2016. 4 decades later, Gloria won a second Grammy in 2020 for her gospel album Testimony, which is incredible. Truly a historic achievement, not only in terms of the years that have gone by to be great that long, but to have the two top of anything in that span of time, and with that kind of period between, is pretty amazing. But I will say that I Will Survive
and JD
is an unbelievable
again, if any of the
song.
China names, they were up.
I've heard it, like
we're
everyone
kind of been
else,
pinned the last
thousands
hour.
of
Yeah,
times.
K-Web's coming down. Still
And
up
it's
3.
one of those few that get better every time you hear it. And nobody can sing it
Government will
like her.
extend program that returns part of
And that's an
exported
honor.
value
So,
to companies that
Gloria
ship to
Gaynor,
US.
thank you.
That was a JD comment.
Thank you. And finally, we'll be honoring one of the greatest rock bands of all time, Kiss. So Kiss was formed in 1973 in New York City by founding band members, and incredible people, by the way, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, and Peter Criss. Kiss became a global phenomenon, sold more than 100 million records worldwide, and produced 30 gold albums and lots of other things they produced. They made a fortune. And they're great people, and they deserve it, and they work hard, and they're still working hard, and it's an honor to present Kiss. Thank you very much. Got it? Yeah. Thank you. And they're going to do something very special. Kiss is going to be here on a little bit before the show. I think they're going to do something very special. We're going to have a good time. The 48th Kennedy Center honorees are outstanding people, a standing group, incredible. We can't wait to celebrate the Kennedy Center honors. It'll be in December. It'll be on CBS. In a few short months since I became chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center, we have completely reversed the decline of this cherished national institution. It was being run down. Money wasn't being spent properly. They were building things they shouldn't have built that nobody wanted instead of taking care of the great gem that it is. You look at the marble, look at the quality of the marble, and the things that with a little fix-up and a little work, we can make it unbelievable. These columns, when you see them the next time, they'll be magnificent. I mean, we have some great plans for this. The bones are so good. The bones of a building, if you don't have the bones, you might as well forget it. I'm working in another building, a thing called the White House. We're fixing it up so beautifully. It needed it. It's been many, many years since it's been properly taken care of. It's incredible. One of the great places of the world. Maybe, I mean, truly, to me, is there anything else even close? But we're doing that and doing some other things, and we're going to also fix up a place called Washington, D.C. We're going to make it so beautiful again. We're going to be redoing the parks, redoing the grass. You know, grass has a lifetime like people have a lifetime. And the lifetime of this grass has long been gone when you look at the parks where the grass is old, tired, exhausted. We're going to redo the grass with the finest grasses. I know a lot about grass because I own a lot of golf courses, and if you don't have good grass, you're not in business very long, Lindsey Graham. By the way, you have very good poll numbers, Lindsey. I just saw. Congratulations. But a few short months ago, I became chairman of the Kennedy Center, and we completely reversed it. We reversed what was happening. We ended the woke political programming, and we're restoring the Kennedy Center as the premier venue for performing arts anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. This has the potential to be anywhere in the world. We're going to make it something that people can't even believe. We have some unbelievable plans, and ultimately it's about the talent you get, though. You know, you can have a beautiful building, you can have nice marble walls, you can have nicely done columns, as I was saying, but if you don't have the talent on the stage, and we're going to get the best talent in the world. To that end, the world-renowned musical Les Mis had a phenomenal 5-week sold-out run this summer, beat projected revenues by 35%. And we've raised over $10 million in private funds from a lot of generous donors, and we closed the $26 million budget shortfall that they had before we got here. And with the help of Congress, we secured the critical funding necessary to rebuild the building, and we're going to get all brand new, highest level seats, magnificent seats, and it's going to be all new. We could have taken the existing ones and do a little paint job, a little fabric, but it's not the same thing. So we'll be taking out next season. All of the seats will be taken out. The room is being completely rebuilt. And I just want to thank the Republicans in the Senate, headed by Lindsey in that case. Lindsey was she's a big fan of this building. And they got a record $257 million that's going to go toward renovations building really needs, and all of the exterior is going to be incredible. It's going to be exciting. So I thank you very much, and thank all of your Republican senators. I don't think we had too many Democrat votes, probably. You never have. We don't have Democrats voting even for crime. But I shouldn't make this political, because they made the Academy Awards political and they went down the tubes. So they'll say, Trump made it political, but I think if we make it our kind of political, we'll go up, okay? Let's see if I'm right about that. But I want to thank the executive director for an incredible job. He's done great. He's been with me for just about the beginning, and everything he's touched has been good. He was on high intelligence. He worked in low intelligence and high intelligence. He did better with the high intelligent people. But he's been fantastic. He's the executive director, Rick Grinnell, for his work. Thank you very much, Rick. Unbelievable job. And as well as Lindsey and all the people that helped us in Congress, I want to thank, and the Senate has been incredible. By the way, Leader Thune has been unbelievable, and Speaker Mike Johnson. These are great people. What we're doing with the great big beautiful bill is you're going to see a whole different country. You're seeing it already. We're coming in where the trillions of dollars is coming in from tariffs from all over the world, from countries that took advantage of our country. They thought we were children. They took advantage of us for decades, and now the money is flowing to us, and we've become the hottest country anywhere in the world. But the Kennedy Center board members, many of whom I knew, and many of whom I put on the board, and it's as good a board as I've ever seen. And on the board also, and some people that are doing an incredible job. One in particular is Attorney General Pam Bondi. The job she's doing is incredible. Thank you very much. Long beyond the Kennedy Center. The Kennedy Center is the easy part. She's incredible, and you're going to see a big change in Washington crime stats very soon. Not the stats that they gave, because they turned out to be a total fraud. The real stats, the stats went through the roof. You know, they had a man that was forced to put up stats like they were doing better. They're not doing better. Crime is the worst it's ever been, but it started as of about yesterday. You see a big change, and people are feeling safe already. I've had so many calls. Thank you, sir. Thank you. They were afraid to walk out. They're not afraid anymore. And this will be like the border. We started off with millions and millions of people coming in from all over the world, gang members and people from jails. They were unloading their jails into our country. All over the world they were coming. Drug dealers. They came from Africa. They came from Asia. They came from South America, Venezuela in particular. They were coming in. Trinidad, and the toughest people you've ever seen, and by the millions. And for the last 3 months, we had 0, 0, and 0. We had 0 people come in for 3 months. They respect our country again. That's the other thing. All over the world, our country is respected again. So I also want to thank the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, who's fantastic. She's done an incredible job. And Sergio Gore for the job he's done with personnel. Thank you very much, Sergio. Fantastic. In the coming months, we'll fully renovate the dated and the infrastructure of the building, and make the Kennedy Center a crown jewel of American arts and culture once again. I think we'll bring it to a higher level than it ever hit. Actually, it hit a certain level, but we're going to bring it to a higher level than it ever hit. We have the right location, and soon we will be a crime-free area. This is going to be a crime-free area, by the way. You'll be able to go out. People tell me they can't run anymore. They're just afraid.
I want to do it.
And they'll be running again. We're going to have a crime-free. It's a big
They're
statement, because
you're offering
if
money.
One thing happens all year, Pam,
stream,
you better be good.
Walking
because
through
they'll say
DC
Trump
at night.
did not fulfill his.
I kind of want to do it.
One person gets a little injured by somebody, they'll say Trump did not fulfill his promise. No, we're going to be essentially crime-free. This is going to be a beacon, and it's going to also serve as an example of what can be done. We have to get rid of this cashless bail nonsense. If you look at New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, which is so badly run. Los Angeles, they can't get the houses. They can't get the people their permits to build their houses. They're trying to rebuild their houses from the ridiculous fire that should have never allowed to have taken place. They should have had the water coming down from the Pacific Northwest, but they didn't do that. But they can't get the permits for the people that want to build their houses. But I want to thank Lee Zeldin, because the federal government has gotten all of their permits, which are much more difficult permits actually, and had them literally within 30 days after the fire. Everybody had their permit. But you don't have the city and state permits. They got to get going. The governor and the mayor have to get going. It will just be a matter of time that we're going to do something that's going to be incredible. We're going to use the Kennedy Center as a big focus of it, and that's the 250th anniversary celebration that we're having. So it's 250 years. So we have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, and we have the 250th anniversary celebration, all in this administration, and it's an honor that we were able to not be allowed to do what we were illegally and what we were supposed to do, and that was we had a great election in 2020. We won the election by a lot, but it was a rigged election, and we had to wait 4 years, and we waited 4 years, and it's interesting because I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. I can't claim that I got the 250th. That one's a big one, but I happen to be here. But I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I said the shame of it is that I'm not going to be president when it happens. And lo and behold, look what happens. We have some bad things took place, and now I'm going to be president for the Olympics. I'll be president for the World Cup, and the 250th is going to be maybe more exciting than both. It's a great celebration of our country. We're going to be using this building for a lot
forever,
of the
bro.
celebration having to do with 250 years.
The one guy didn't talk.
But
Now
as I
this
said
guy
earlier, I'm determined to make Washington, D.C. safe, clean, and beautiful again. It's going to take place very rapidly. Be prepared. And a big part of that's going to include the Kennedy Center. So thank you very much. And I want to thank everybody for helping us. This is mostly the group right here. They're young, they're smart, they're ambitious, they want my job. Someday one of them will probably have it. But we have a great group of people that are putting this together, and they're also helping us with Washington, D.C. We're going to make Washington beautiful. We're going to redo roads. We're going to redo the medians, the pavers, and the medians all throughout the city. We're going to take all the graffiti off. We're going to have to remove the tents and the people that are living in our parks. We're going to be redoing the parks, the grasses and all. We're going to be going to Congress for a relatively small amount of money, and Lindsey and the Republicans are going to be approving it. I don't know about the Democrats. They don't approve anything. It's amazing. It's like they just don't want to vote for anything. They've got the yips. You know, in golf they say the yips. The Democrats are afraid to do anything because they don't want to be criticized. But fighting crime is a good thing. We have to explain.
Don't be afraid.
We're going to fight crime. That's a good thing. Already they're saying he's a dictator. The place is going to hell, and we've got to stop it. So instead of saying he's a dictator, they should say we're going to join him and make Washington safe. But they say he's a dictator. And then they end up getting mugged, and but the stats are very bad. But we're going to, I think we'll actually get Democrat support. I really believe they can't do this one too. It's, they talk about 80-20 issues, but I think many of those 80-20 issues, like men and women's sports, I think it's 97-3, not 80-20. And I think crime is maybe 100-0. So I think we may get very well some Democrat support, but I hope so. But even if we don't, we have the majority, so we're going to vote it in as Republicans, and we're going to do something. And that's going to serve as a beacon for New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and other places all over the country. Our whole country is going to be so different and so great. It's going to be clean and safe and beautiful, and people are going to love our flag.
As somebody who rants like all day, like I think the rule is like as long as you're coherent, it's acceptable. But he does talk a lot, but at least we get it. The other guy didn't talk, and then but yeah, man, it's like another.
That evening is going to be special.
Yeah, remember
really
yesterday,
special
2 days
people,
ago? It was like an hour and a half,
and real talent.
This time though, he didn't say any like policy.
Do you have any
though.
questions?
Any questions now? Now we do questions?
Yes, please.
Hi,
Jeez.
sir. There's new reporting that the Russians have hacked into some computer systems that manage U.S. federal court documents. I wonder if you've seen this reporting and if you plan to bring it up with Putin when you see him later in the week.
I guess I could. Are you surprised? You know, are you surprised? They hack in. That's what they do. They're good at it. We're good at it. We're actually better at it. But no, I have heard about it. I have heard about it. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned congressional Democrats. You have not yet met with Democratic leadership, but there's a funding deadline at the end of September. Do you plan to meet with Leader Schumer and Leader Jeffries to discuss that situation?
Well, I will, I guess, but it's almost a waste of time to meet because they never approve anything. If we want money to fight crime, if we want money to do only good things, just good things. Let's not even talk about controversial. They don't want to meet about anything. They really are. They're stuck. They don't know what to do. They have probably more, I would say more than half are sane, but they are led by insane people. And the kind of things that they're pushing are not something. We have a communist running for the mayor of New York, and I wish him well. I may have to deal with him. I mean, it's not even conceivable. It's not even conceivable that could happen. And maybe he won't win, but he won the primaries by quite a bit. You know, shockingly, he won the primaries. So, and you see some of the people supporting him that truly don't believe what he's espousing. So, I mean, we will meet, but nothing's going to come out of the meeting. But here's the advantage we have is that we just passed the great big beautiful bill that had all the biggest tax cuts in history. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, think of it. Think of that for the seniors, no tax on overtime. And all sorts of things. You go out, buy a car, you can deduct the interest payment. If you borrow money, you can deduct the interest payment from your taxes. So many things, but the biggest thing is, from a business standpoint, deductions. You know, that was tremendous. It's going to, our country is roaring. Our businesses are, you're going to see some numbers in 12 months when these factories are open. You know, we're opening up factories all over the world, all over the country, but that's all spreading to, I think we're spreading the wealth all over the world, if you want to know the truth. But we're opening them in this country at a level that we've never seen before. We've never seen. So they just don't want to prove anything. They just, we meet with them and they say, as Nancy Reagan said, just say no. They go, just say no. They're afraid to approve anything. If we say, we want to stop crime in this country, or as an example, bail, we want to make it so that people, if they murder somebody, they're in jail. They don't get out on no bail. They say, we don't want that. We want people to murder somebody and they immediately are released and they go out and murder somebody else. It's a big problem, a tremendous problem. By the way, we're going to go for statutes in D.C. and then ultimately for the rest of the country where that's not going to be allowed. Because it was when they did the cashless bail thing that the numbers really started going up. In this city, in New York, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, no matter where they have it, the numbers went through the roof. So we're going to meet with them, of course. I'd like to meet with them. We're going to tell them all these good things, and they're going to tell us no. And then we're going to go out and we're going to vote it in by the Republicans, because I don't believe that anybody is capable of making a deal with these people. They have gone crazy. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank
Your federalization of the police has a 30-day limit unless Congress acts to extend it. Are you talking to Congress about extending it, or do you believe 30 days is sufficient?
Well, if it's a national emergency, we can do it without Congress, but we expect to be to Congress, before Congress, very quickly. And again, we think the Democrats will not do anything to stop crime, but we think the Republicans will do it almost unanimously. So we're going to need a crime bill that we're going to be putting in. And it's going to pertain initially to D.C. We're going to use it as a very positive example. And we're going to be asking for extensions on that, long-term extensions, because you can't have 30 days. 30 days that's by the time you do it. We're going to have this in good shape. And don't forget, in the border, everyone said it would take years and you'd have to go back to Congress. I never went to Congress for anything. I just said, close the border. and they closed the border, and that was the end of it. I didn't go back to Congress. We're going to do this very quickly, but we're going to want extensions. I don't want to call national emergency. If I have to, I will. But I think the Republicans in Congress will approve this pretty much unanimously. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you encourage members of the press to do ride-alongs with the D.C. police to understand how serious this crime issue is?
It's okay to me if they want to do it. We're going to work with the D.C. police. A lot of very good people in there. Not all, but a lot of very good, very, very professional. And, you know, we have a big force. I think they said 3,500. They're always asking the mayor, who's a very nice woman, but got to do the job. You know, we've worked with the mayor for 6 months, and she's been here for many years. And the numbers are worse than they ever are. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. And the whole statistical charts that they made, the whole thing is a rigged deal. They got rid of the guy because he didn't want to do the numbers the way they wanted to, and they put their own numbers out. They said it's the best in 20 years. No, it's the worst in 20 years. But we're going to be very open about what we're doing. So if the media wants to ride with police, if they want to do it, if they feel it's safe, that would be okay. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Sir, with President Zelensky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mary Margaret with Daily Wire. 2 questions on D.C., if that's okay. How do you feel about Mayor Bowser's level of cooperation and her choosing to advocate for D.C. statehood right now? And
well, the statehood, let me do that one. Okay. Statehood is ridiculous. We want to straighten the place out. Statehood's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. It's the Democrats want it because the Democrats have, about 95% in this little area. Even I didn't get it very much. They want that. They want to pick up 2 senators, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's the least of the reasons why, by the way, but that's one of the reasons why. What we want to do is make Washington, D.C., the greatest, most beautiful, safest capital anywhere in the world, and that's going to happen. I mentioned the word bones before. The bones here, the bones, we have the greatest bones. When you look at that Supreme Court building, I think it's one of the most beautiful buildings. When you look at some of the buildings here, it's so magnificent, and everything's good, but it's just dirty and not properly maintained. It's not taken care of. Potholes in the roads. All of it's going to happen very quickly. We're going to seek a relatively small amount of money for fix-up, and we're going to put it out to bid. And we have great contractors here, great road builders, everything. And we're not ripping roads apart so they're closed for 4 years as they redo the concrete bases. And you don't need that. We need a beautiful topping by a very talented asphalt-type person, somebody that does the job. We go out, when I get contractors, I use great contractors. To me, a great contractor is a very special, like a great surgeon, like a great teacher, like a great nurse. Surgeon. A great contractor is very important. We'll only use the best. And when you put a coat of asphalt on that, 2 inches of asphalt, 3 inches of asphalt, it looks brand new. You take all the garbage off. They reseed it, as we call it, or different names, but they take the bad stuff off and they put the good stuff down. It takes not a long period of time. A matter of a few days, you'll have a beautiful, magnificent road. You fix up the curbs. You get rid of the medians in this town are just horrible. You're riding around, I think to myself, leaders come from foreign countries. You see, with leaders all the time, different leaders. They came in from India recently and from everywhere. They came in from a war that we just ended, Azerbaijan and Armenia. We just ended the war. The 2 leaders came in. One of them said, "My country looks better.
Azerbaijan,
the roads are better
James.
than we were talking about." I said, "What do you think?"
Azerbaijan.
He said, "Well, the roads are better in Armenia than they are
Jamaica.
in Washington D.C." It's embarrassing.
I know we ended another war. And we brought
down the
price
at the last press
of
conference.
eggs.
They said to me, "How important is it?
They
You're
won't
doing
say
world
that.
peace. We're going to Friday to Alaska.
Josh has a farm.
Russia.
Don't talk about it.
How important it is that the capital is important." I said, "Very, very important." I told my father, said to me, "When you see a restaurant and you want to go and you want to have dinner, and then you go up to the front door and it's dirty, turn around and go back because the kitchen's dirty." It's the same thing with the capital of the United States of America. if it's dirty and unsafe, it sets a bad tone for the rest of the world. So we're not going to do that. We're going to have this Capitol fixed up, safe, clean, and beautiful in a very short period of time. Go ahead, please. In the back? Yeah, please.
Yes, Mr. President, how were your calls this morning with European leaders, and was it your call not to invite President Zelensky to your meeting with Putin?
No, just the opposite. No. We had a very good call. He was on the call. President Zelensky was on the call. I would rate it a 10, very, very friendly. I know the leaders because I was at NATO, as you know. I took it from 2% to 5%. 2% that wasn't paid, 5% that is paid, which is trillions of dollars in defense capability.
Or you should do a push-up, though.
No, it was always going to be, I was going to meet with President Putin, and then after that, I'm going to call
it's like a good
the leaders and President Zelensky. I'm going to call President Zelensky, and then I'll call probably in that order the leaders. There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first, because the first is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing. Again, this is Biden's war. This isn't my war. He got us into this thing. And it should have never happened. This war would have never happened if I were president. But it is what it is, and I'm here to fix it. And I'm here to stop 6,000, 7,000 people last week. 7,213 people last week were killed, mostly soldiers. But missiles being lobbed into towns don't exactly help either. But mostly soldiers. And Ukrainian and Russian. They're not American soldiers, but if we can save a lot of lives, it would be a great thing. I've stopped 5 wars in the last 6 months.
Y'all act like
and on top of that, we wiped out the nuclear capability of Iran, obliterated it.
At minimum.
It's turned out to be a correct word, by the way, because some of the press said, well, maybe it wasn't obliteration. It was obliteration. And we're going to meet with, I would say, the second meeting.
Isn't that amazing?
If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately. And we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself if they'd like to have me there. And that would be a meeting where maybe it could be absolutely work. But the first meeting will not work that out. Certain great things can be gained in the first. It's going to be a very important meeting. But it's setting the table for the second meeting. I think the second meeting, if the second meeting takes place. Now, there may be no second meeting.
Because I was leaning back working out. I'll tell you what I said afterwards.
Because I didn't get the answers that we have to have, then we're not going to have a second meeting.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't ask you. Go ahead, please.
I just wanted to ask you, thank you, Mr. President. How involved were you in the selection process of these honorees?
I would say I was about 98% involved.
I listened to all.
No, they all went through me. They came over, Rick and Sergio and everybody.
They said, play this
I turned down plenty.
On the jukebox.
They were too woke. I had a couple of wokesters. No, we have great people. This is very different than it used to be. Very different. These are great people, and they're not. I don't have any idea of the Republican, because I want people that. The Kennedy Center has everything. Look at the Academy Awards. It gets lousy ratings now. It's all woke. All they do is talk about how much they hate Trump. But nobody likes that. They don't watch anymore. That used to have 45 million people watching. I remember The Apprentice, first season.
Damn.
The Apprentice had 42 million people. The Academy Awards had 41 million people. We were the second show to the Super Bowl.
My show?
But since then, the Academy Awards have gone down to, I think they've gone down to numbers that are like a regular show. Because it went woke. We're not doing it for that reason. We're doing it because we want the great talent. But these are great people. So I was just a very long answer, but I was very involved.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Biden administration was auctioning off border wall materials, but we're hearing now that the auctioneer is selling those materials back. Are you finishing building the wall?
Well, I built hundreds of miles of wall, and I was getting very close. I actually finished the wall, but then I added another 200 miles because when you do the original wall that I said I was going to build, which I got built, and I got it to the specifications of the Border Patrol and ICE, the exact. They wanted steel, they wanted concrete inside, they wanted rebar inside that, they wanted it to have wires. We have the walls are wired for, all of the internet stuff and security things. And we built it hundreds of miles. We did great. That's one of the reasons, even now, we're able to have such good numbers at zero, or essentially very little people coming in. But Biden, I ordered for another 200 miles. I was going to do another 200 because it's the way it is. And we're all set to do it. Then we had the bad election result, the horrible, what happened to our country, what they've allowed to happen to our country. And we are taking now that wall back. They sold the wall. Now, this is expensive stuff. Hardened steel, very expensive.
Sold it for like $1.
9,000 pound concrete and rebar. Rebar is very expensive, the hardest rebound. No, it's very hard to cut. You have different materials. It's very hard to cut because they cut it down if they can. It's very hard to cut. And Biden sold it for pennies on the dollar, 3 cents on the dollar, 4 cents on the dollar. He sold it. And I said, these guys really don't want it. That was when I first realized, when I saw the wall was being put up, because we could have finished the rest of the wall in about 4 weeks, anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. It was all set to go. It was laying down, ready to be put up. The foundations were.
So I'll give you, that was like the story for me here. I'm just going to start giving you the Arab version of his repeat stories. But that one's kind of new. You haven't heard that one in a while. But that reminded me of when my mom cut the Xbox wire. You know what I'm saying? That's like, so like Biden selling the wall, and then he's like, wow, I knew they were serious. I can't believe they hated us like that. That was like when my mom got mad at me and she cut the Xbox wire. I was like, oh, this is real. I said, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, the war on sin is real. Like, that was, wow. So, yeah.
Poor countries don't have open borders. No, we had open borders where people just walked in. It didn't matter what they looked like, who they were. They could have. We had 11,888 murderers, half of whom killed more than one.
Listen, Donald, just if you're going to tell the same story, throw in the clip of the guy who came. You will know my name. You were letting people in through Mexico who came from fucking Iran, and they were doing TMZ call out. You will know who I am. I will show you who I am at the border. So yeah, bro.
Go ahead in the back, please.
You remember that? Yeah, because you speak Arabic.
Take it back to the kid in the center, if I can, just for a second, Mr. President.
Sure.
From what I understand, the late Miz
like,
show
oh, shit, man,
exceeded everyone's expectations. Attendance, revenue, across the board.
It's great.
Do you anticipate future shows to basically do the same?
I like that guy. Now, that's called a question, okay? And he's a great reporter, actually. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
He should get a Pulitzer.
Yeah, it did great.
It
did great. Broke records and was sold out and beautiful. And we anticipate a lot of that happening. There's a thirst for it.
And the spy.
And especially when the crime is knocked out. When we knock out crime, some people probably stay away from
banks are at the lows.
Places,
they had a really good day
like
yesterday, so it's not crazy. Yeah, but
it ruins
still.
your whole fabric. It ruins your country. And when somebody thinks they have about a 25% chance of getting mugged, they say, let's not go to restaurants tonight. We're going to make it so that they have no chance of getting mugged. And it's going to happen soon. And yeah, we think we're going to have a lot of very successful evenings here. Please.
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
There will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
What do they rhyme with?
I don't have
Does
to
it
say.
rhyme
There will
with
be very severe
$20 lower on
consequences, yes.
Schmoyer? Does that
Yeah,
rhyme?
please.
Can I ask you a question about the Fed?
Right next to you, please. Yeah.
About the Federal Reserve.
Oh, Federal Reserve, my favorite.
Yesterday
Too late.
that you're
He's too late.
Federal Reserve my ass.
Considering
Look at that smirk.
Can you update us on your thinking about that and tell
We
us
don't like your monotone question.
Well, he took a building that could have been painted and fixed. Like, we're going to fix this building for very little money.
You should have done the Josh Answer
And
special.
that was in
Josh
better
could have
shape.
done it.
He took the building and they
brand
just,
new.
what they did to that
Brand
building.
new.
They built a basement under the building. It didn't have a basement.
BMR and Archite.
This is simple to understand. The building is right next to a
Archite,
thing
rip
called
it.
the Potomac River.
The Potomac.
The beautiful Potomac River.
Potomac.
That means lots of water. And the water is right under the
That's
building.
what that means.
And they decided to build a basement
Means lots of water.
under the
Potomac.
building in the Potomac River So in
Yeah,
order to do
Ethereum
that,
ripping.
you need the biggest pumps
About the dollar
that
from
God
the high
ever created.
in the morning.
And they were pumping their hearts out. But as big as those pumps are, you can't pump
your
it fast
heart
enough
out.
because it's the Potomac River. If the pump were bigger than this room, you couldn't pump it. But they
Talking
tried.
about a river, or is he
and they've
talking
been building
about
a basement. And I said,
CNBC?
why did you want to build a basement? I thought it would be a good
okay.
idea, sir.
Sure.
A basement is the least valuable floor in a building. I know a lot about real estate. The least valuable thing is the basement.
Wow.
And you don't build a basement under a building that
Unless
is 2 feet above the river that's right next door. You know, it's right near the river. People don't realize the river's right out their window. And that's the beginning. They did just a terrible job. Instead of, I could take a ceiling like this, they'd rip out the ceiling because they see a crack. Let's rip out the ceiling. And I would fix the crack and I would paint the ceiling. And under the ceiling, they put the most incredible protective material. They go out by 3/4 inch, brand new, gorgeous 3/4 inch plywood and sheetrock, hardened sheetrock. And they had it all over the building. So if a little piece of flake came down, but the problem is when they took the ceiling down and it would hit, they spent millions of dollars on protective material that you didn't have to spend anything. He could have done that job for $25 million, and they spent $3.1 billion. He said 2.7, but it's really 3.1. They just don't want to include one of the buildings in the deal. But it's going to be much more than that. And I think he'll be long gone by the time it finishes because...
Okay, we'll do Pump It Up. $10,000. $10,000 for Pump It Up. How about that? Okay, we could start now. I'll count. Go.
Jerome Too Late Powell. It will live with him forever. I believe that name will live with him
I like it.
forever,
It's
along
to
with the name
celebrate all-time
Pocahontas and
highs.
some of the others.
We need to set
He worked
records.
closely with Pocahontas, by the way. She's another beauty.
Pocahontas.
But we have a real problem there. They're way over budget, and they did a job that shouldn't have been done. It was unnecessary to be done. Instead of, I could have gotten the greatest wallpaper anywhere in the world from the finest stores in the world. I could have fixed up a wall a little bit. It would have taken about 2 hours, and covered it with the most magnificent silk and most magnificent paper for thousands of dollars as opposed to tens of millions of dollars. What a shame it is that they did. But they would take down areas of the building that shouldn't have been taken down. They could have literally been painted, and they didn't do that. So they've got a long way to go. And I think it's just grossly incompetent, but not quite as incompetent as his decision not to...
At least, you know,
do
at least
interest
Trump
rate.
was respectful enough to, like, fake it when he saw him. You know, both... That's how you know. Both him and Powell were like, yeah, it's an honor to be here. He could have painted it. What a terrible, terrible...
And 60 billion for 1 point.
3/4-inch walls.
And we should be down at 1% because we're the leader of the world. We were always the lowest interest rate until like a certain time ago, couple.
No.
But we were always,
Germany.
because we were the United States of America.
Europe
so
had
even if the
negative
country was
rates,
run
big
badly,
homie.
we were considered like to be super prime.
JetBlue on the high.
And now he's got us in a bad place. So we're paying
Yeah, JetBlue kinda
$360 billion a year for each point. Now, I believe we should be 3 or 4 points lower. So that's over $1 trillion we pay every year in interest. And it's really just a paper calculation. You sign a document and you save almost $1 trillion because that number equates very much to the bonds that we have to buy. But despite that, we're powering through it, and we have the greatest economy maybe we've ever had. But the housing sector, people aren't able to get good mortgages. They're paying too much because of Jerome Too Late Powell. He's truly incompetent, and we'll be making another. We put a very good man in temporarily in the one spot because one of the people that was appointed by the Democrats left early. And I heard left because that person wanted lower interest rates, and I heard quit, but I have no idea. I'm sure she won't say that.
What? He's saying Kugler wanted
I'll be
lower
naming
rates.
a new chairman sometime.
That's pretty much
within
what he
the
just
next.
said.
I think I'll name it a little
He
bit
said
earlier. The
Kugler
new
left
chairman.
because she wanted lower rates.
I'm down to 3 or 4 names. All good, all great.
3 or 4
The
names.
problem is you name them and then
more
they turn out to be not good. That's happened to me a couple of times. You name somebody, they tell you everything you want to hear, and then they go in and
He's talking
they
about
turn
you,
out to be
Jerome.
not good. I mean, he told me everything that I thought was appropriate. He turned out to be a stiff, real stiff. But other than that, I think he's doing a very good job, yes. Okay, maybe one or two more. One or two more. Yes, sir, please. Go ahead.
Mr.
He looks like
President.
Scott Bessent. Are you the Treasury Secretary?
You don't want me for Treasury.
I don't know. You look like you could do a good job. Go ahead.
I keep my family budget okay. Sir, when you meet with Vladimir Putin Friday in Alaska,
Yeah.
do you believe you can convince him to stop targeting civilians in Ukraine?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've had that conversation with him. I've had a lot of good conversations with him. Then I go home and I see that a rocket hit a nursing home or a rocket hit an apartment building and people are laying dead in the street. So I guess the answer to that is no, because I've had this conversation. I want to end the war. It's Biden's war, but I want to end it. I'll be very proud to end this war along with the 5 other wars I ended. But I guess the answer to that is probably no, because I would have had a good conversation with Vladimir. I knew him very well. I got along with him great, actually. We had I had to go through the Russia hoax. And it was actually, it was a strain on the relationship. I actually told him, I said, they got this phony investigation going on, Russia. Totally phony.
I can't believe we're
created
about to do 2
by Adam
sets of push-ups. Sir.
Schiff.
I told you to do
Schiff
them
and
earlier,
Hillary
but
Clinton and
now
the whole
it's
group
push-up
of
time.
them. And it made it very dangerous for our country because I was unable to really deal with Russia the way we should have been. I'm looking at Pam because I hope something's going to be done about it. These people put our country at great danger. And Adam Schiff, it was all made up. It was a hoax. The Mueller report came out. They all hated me. They had 18 Trump haters. And they said I did nothing wrong. They couldn't believe, they couldn't find anything after years of investigation. It was all a hoax. It was a hoax created by the Democrats, but in particular
He's talking
Schiff.
about it, but yeah, that is kind of a different answer from Trump. They just asked him if he trusts Putin, and if he said no. That's what I was saying, bro. That's why, ever since we've brought up the oil play, Trump has been shifting tone a little bit, and just they want this over. Once he starts mentioning $10, $20 lower a barrel on oil, that's how you know we're real about this situation. That's what I'm saying. That's why if you're not gonna fuck with oil prices, you're not really that serious about ending it. But the moment because that's their money. That's all of Russia's money, legitimately and literally. Is he done? So there you go. He's finally done. Wow. Thank God he kept that short and sweet. That was in and out. Thank you, Donos. I forgot. This is like an honoring. It looked like even a memorial. I'm like, wait, Sylvester Stallone passed away? But no. They're honoring him. And then Trump went on. He took questions. So I don't know. It was long. A lot of it was repeat, but then again, you understood what he was saying. So I don't know. You just different scales of value, how you determine what that was. Yeah, should we go to philo? I already have it set up. I'm ready to philosophize. The banks are going down. I've been calling that out. And what was I saying earlier? Oh, I made a funny joke when you guys couldn't hear me, but I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah, you guys said you couldn't hear me. I was gonna repeat it, but I think I forgot what it was. No, and then Ethereum, that was moving. There is an IPO, the Peter Thiel one, but I mean, that's for, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, some of these IPOs and high premiums, it reminds me of waiting outside of Supreme to buy something. And, you can't make money while people are buying it, but yeah, I just don't. Do you remember? They used to do that in LA a lot, 10 years ago. Kind of crazy to think 2015 was 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. Bro, I was talking about my toes. Thank God. Thank you, Chattadonia. I love it. Thank you for holding that thought for me. That's exactly what I was saying. So I'm not going to go to philo just yet. But I will tell you, I have a financial rant for you. You guys know it's the bare minimum, right? Just as a reminder, that 10% is just the bare minimum. Having a long term, not blowing your future, saving money, for your long term. And then like even aiming for the house, I need you to believe above all else and have no fear, because we can't get any progress without that, any real progress. But yeah, dude, do you know that's like the minimum? Even when I'm saying like push-ups, even the toes. If you just move your toes strategically every hour, that is better for you than doing nothing. Do you get what I am saying? Like, you think the push-ups are like a... So, like, every hour, if you're actually sitting here and aware, like, if you're just locked in, like, you hear what I'm saying about the market, you hear what's going on about, literally, the NASDAQ is right about to go red or just hit red, and is about, you know, doing that, like, you know what's happening right now. And you have the ability to consciously just take your time. Like, bro, strategically moving your toes in the right formation, that's just such a small action that can get you some pretty good results. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a fan of the bare minimum. I don't know if it feels good, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Sometimes my toes cramp. Okay, it's actually, you know, but it's really not that much when you think about it. It's just a little motion. Just that's strategically. I don't know if you'll lose weight, but at the very least, you know, this is something I'm working on. It helps. It's good. Little posture correction things, but it's like, it's really not that much. It's just compounding like a really conscious decision. I'm just moving my toes, bro. That's why when I told you that like 20 minutes ago, there's just a towel and I'm just like moving my toes, just thinking about it. So yeah, stand up. I don't know, move around a little bit. That's all you gotta do. That's it. See, now I'm doing like a knee lunge. I can still talk to you. But yeah, man. You could lose 5 pounds a year by fidgeting? Oh, wow. I've never heard that. That's crazy. So ADD has a benefit. Nice. Yeah, hand stretch. Hand stretch, now you're trying to get to the weird minimum. I love stretching my eyes, Joshua. I look at the screen and it stretches my eyes. I like moving my mouse around okay, bro, come on. I'm saying, like, make sure, you probably got carpal tunnel or something, dog. Make sure you just, you know, good posture. Good posture. Toe press, yeah. Toe curls. There's a lot of little toe workouts. Get a yoga block. Even think about your hips. I bet you one of you right now is leaning heavy to your right. Oh yeah, I'm talking about you, even if you're banned. What are you talking about? Why are you leaning to the right so hard? Literally, you like leaning on the right, dog. Like, do you not see it? You twisting. Why are you leaning on the right? There, you see what I'm saying? You gotta center it, dog. That's what I'm saying. I struggle with that too, brother. They don't feel me, bro. He said, how do you see me? Oh my gosh, are you a prophet? No, mother effer. We got bad habits. It's a habit, habitual. You could predict things through habits. That's easy. That's not prophetic. Oh man, they don't feel me. Underdeveloped glute, yeah. So you gotta balance it out. It takes a long time, bro. Even then, even like conscious stuff, even if the muscle is weak, a little just like awareness of it, that could go a long way. You'd either do it naturally or it's like a muscle imbalance and then your body just naturally does it and then you like get into it. That's why I lean heavy to my right. CRM, is that going up? And then oil's still down. Like I said, you had the banks. I think Apple is your only tech stock that has gone up. I want to say the market's still like heavy in the green. Yeah, Dow got 20 green, 10 red. NASDAQ 69 green, 31 in the red. SPY 373 green, and then like 130-ish red. So yeah, not bad. And then again, banks still, again, that's all I see. High ticker's actually kind of running both everything. It's like 75% of the way right now. Humans are predictable if they have a habit. Yes. Like, you guys haven't, like, you know what the fuck I'm gonna do. But you don't know what I'm gonna do, but you know my habit. Oh, they don't, man, I'm about to, y'all need Jesus in the philo. I don't want to keep ranting on you. You know, I could do that a lot. And I'll turn into Trump before you know it. Yeah. Hey, what? That's I know I saw Humana going up. And then UNH Healthcare is the real outperformer today. So even Staples, I think without, if Walmart and some other shit wasn't down. But even then, Staples are green. So that's not too bad. BK, Bank of Mel, that's another financials killed it yesterday. Ooh, BK just took a big red. So all the banks were dropping. This thing is breaking near 100. Kind of just dropped like 0.5% there on one candle. I don't know if it's because of the fanny stuff for the banks. I have no idea. For now, I'm just viewing it like they really ran up. Maybe I'll use XLF. But BK is moving right now. But like, look, XLF had a crazy day yesterday. So even though they're dropping, it's not really like, they're not declining. That's why it's like, all right, I wouldn't attribute it to news. Where is the video? Yeah, I'll just look at real estate stocks. That's what I'm trying to communicate through the watch list. And even when I hear it on the news, I mean, UWMC might be one of them, but think very broadly. But again, people are talking rate cuts. Like, it's not a matter of if now. Like I'm saying, after enough sets of data, and then especially the final jobs and CPI, it's almost guaranteed. So you shouldn't be thinking if. You should be thinking of what happens when. And that, again, look at real estate. And we talked about it on yesterday's watch list if you truly want to be prepared. But I do think it's a good mindset to be in. But then again, there is some risk. It may not play out. There's no guarantees. So that's what will keep you safe if you play it right. A little bit of caution. Oh, Uncle SoundCloud. Yeah, that's where it started. So before Uncle made a SoundCloud, before ever having like Spotify. Yeah, man. That's where it all began. With the chat, at least. I don't see Zell lawsuit. Travel industry sees higher income despite cautious consumer. Banks are still dying. I got options. Bro, I'm kind of hungry. I need protein, bro. These basketball games have been getting to me, man. I only played once. AG New York going after Zell for fraud. Redfin got bought out by Arquite. So your Redfin shares turned into Arquite. You actually got a steal. So pretty much you bought your Redfin shares for like $3 and then they converted to Arquite at like 13, which is great. And then if you did the covered calls, that paid for the initial investment, but that was honestly one of the best plays. There's been a lot of good plays for the long term, but I'm glad we walked away with some. That's a good one. I'm glad to be holding that. So yeah, we still have it here. Yeah, it's a good one. I saw him. If this wasn't up on the year, I would have really liked it a lot more. But it's a good one for the portfolio. Like I'm saying, it's actually working its way up here now. Arquite is, you know, it's in our top 10, top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Got a little more work to do. Uncle is great for the gym. Am I saying Arquite? Yeah, Arquite. The tax? I don't know. We'll find out, but I think it's going to be 0, believe it or not. I mean, I could always find a way, but at the end of the day, even with the like new Trump thing with the individual accounts, like I think you could do up to $90,000. So in a weird way, I still think I was under the limit. So we'll find out when it's all said and done. I'm still working on the video. I have the mortgage payment and all that other breakdown for you guys. But yeah, overall, I still really like the decision. Our long term would have been higher right now, but oh yeah, even then I like real estate. I like the rate cut situation, and then you know I do like the instant equity. In my mind, I'm already up a lot of money on the purchase. So yeah, it's a good one. Jim, some reports say 1,000% increase in rep count. I've heard those reports. I've heard many actually. You know, a lot of people talk about like just there is some interesting results that can be happening with Uncle in the gym. So I'll leave that up to you guys. You know, you can't make any guarantees. But yeah, it's you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. I've seen a lot. I got options. You moved in temporarily in the hood of South Dallas? Why? Or what happened? Is that good or bad? I don't know. How am I supposed to take that? What does that mean? The lending program on Fidelity. I have done it on accident because I was trying to do it. I was trying to see it with MPW. It like offered it for me, and then I clicked it, and then it enrolled me in it. So yeah, you get paid out. It's like a small amount. You'll get like an extra 1 or 2%. So all depends, but if it's like a heavily shorted stock, maybe you don't want to contribute to it, but then maybe you want the extra 10, 20 bucks. So, but it's legit, it works. No, it's not a covered call, actually. It's like a stock lending program. So they'll give you extra interest if you let the brokerage use your shares to sell for shorts. So you like loan out your equity that you own, and then you get extra income. So I think even on like MO, they would offer you like an extra 1 or 2%. So you get extra 1, 2% a year on MO just by letting them borrow your shares. It's not a covered call. It's not anything. You own it. I think the only way it really fucks up is in the event of a total failure, like a total collapse, and then your borrowed equity is lost. But there's insurance and all that too. So yeah, you have full access to everything, and then you get interest. But it's usually small. It's not that much interest. It's not as appealing as it sounds, or it's legit and it works, but they just don't offer you a lot of money. So it's like if it's worth it for the extra 1, 2%, then yeah. Your friend's going through a divorce. You're helping him out. Oh, but he lives in South Oak Cliff. Is that the hood? Well, that's good. At least you're helping him out. And then it doesn't seem like a, yeah, so that's good though. I'm glad you're good, man. You could sell a covered call, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You should be able to. Theoretically, because I think the borrowing happens at like the brokerage level. So I think on paper, you still own the equity. Like even the system, you still have your 100 shares of equity. It never, I think it shows as another entity when it happens. my view on real estate in the next 6 to 12 months, stable to higher. That's it. Maybe there is a chance it could come down a little bit in some areas like we've been seeing, and I think it's going to be different parts are going to pull apart. I think expensive properties are going to operate different than cheap properties, and then we're either going to keep this same stability or it's going to catch up with everything else. And then if it goes down, it's going to go down on a very geographic, demographic type beat in terms of what gets affected to the downside. So yeah, but I like it. That's why I was willing to move the long term to it. And I think there's going to be still some crazy opportunities in real estate. Yeah, it's going to be very location based, 100%, 1,000,000%. But even broadly, it's going to be relatively stable. And then I think some of the areas that were already like hot, again, high inventory, that's it. I think lower priced houses are going to do good though. I think Trump and even the mortgage thing, I think they're going to try to make it easier for young people to buy houses, I hope. So I think the cheaper properties are going to have a certain demand there that will be available, which is good. All good. Let's see. I don't care about the shares of a company. Like, I don't have any goal for acquiring certain amount of shares. So I would stay away from that. Broadcom on the low, kind of flushing. All right. So Chad, are you ready, brethren? It is time for philosophy. So if you're a heathen or you get sensitive to ancient texts, you may not, or maybe you don't like motivational stuff, hope, peace. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like me. Thankfully, you're free and you don't ever have to be anywhere you don't really want to be, especially on the internet. Praise the Lord. All right. So you have a wonderful day. And God bless you. And thank you for your time. But if you want to hear some of the Jesus talk, you're going to have to make a couple of bob and weaves to get there. So I'll leave your personal decision to express your views on it, whether or not I see you there. So have a good day if I don't see you again. And get ready. Tomorrow and the next days, we pick up a little more. So it should be a nice close to the week. I don't think we're going to have a watch list tonight. So, yeah, I don't know if you're going to want to be here then for the rest of it, but enjoy it. And you are a child of the light. The Lord is with you all. And God bless America. And veterans, thank you too for everything. I love you. And God bless you. And peace.